wanna be rich, but not set rich. Know too much, get left in a ditch. CIA scratches if Clinton's getting itch. Yeah, I wanna be rich, but not set rich. Suit and tie, but I move like a glitch. Eyes wide shut, still dodging the snitch. Laptop missing, emails encrypted. Truth so loud, the mainstream clipped it. Flash drive full, got that dead man code, but I keep it cold like a heart on the road. DC nights where the back doors crack. One wrong file and you never come back. I wanna be rich, but not set rich. Wiki leaking out your dome into a ditch. You wish the simulation had a glitch. You wanna be rich, but not set rich. But not set rich. G-man lurking by the food truck line. Whispers in the Wi-Fi trailing mine. Check my 6 when I speak that facts. They erase folks cleaner than income tax. No chain, no fame, just VPNs. Tryna buy a truth in a world full of friends who smile like masks in a masquerade, but flip the switch like a deep state blade. I wanna be rich, but not set rich. Know too much, get left in a ditch. CIA scratches if Clinton's getting itch. Yeah, I wanna be rich, but not set rich. They say the truth will set you free, but what if it just sets you up? Tryna whistle blow, you better know you might not ever blow back up. I wanna be rich, but not set rich. Wiki leaking out your dome into a ditch. You wish the simulation had a glitch. You wanna be rich, but not set rich. But not set rich. Tell my mama I ain't suicidal, but they tap phones like a new revival. USB full of names in bold. One email could get me cold. I ain't cute, but I see the plan. When the talking points match the van. In the land of the free, you pay the price for crossing lines with too much light. I wanna be rich, but not set rich. Know too much, get left in a ditch. CIA scratches if Clinton's getting itch. Yeah, I wanna be rich, but not set rich.
Can you save us, Britney Spears? Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
Here comes Santa. Here comes the world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, making it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, making it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys.
Big up, big up, big up. Happy Friday night and welcome back to another episode of the Secret Society of Good Guys. We are your slippery little snakes. We're your slippery little good guys. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe and maybe you can help our algorithm. Hi, good guys. Happy Friday.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, you guys. I Want to Be Seth Rich is still a banger.
It really is.
I'm questioning, like, we're seeing all this stuff go on where it's like election fraud stuff happening in Georgia, and then more Epstein files are getting released, and I'm wondering when we get to the point of the story where we hear Seth Rich again. Because don't you feel like we're in this loop of like a loopy news cycle where it doesn't seem like any new news. They say it's new news, but it all feels like stuff we already know over and over again. But
have you read the latest Epstein?
not all 3 million yet, but they just came out today.
You got to get on it.
But I already see like how quickly propaganda, where it's like just the copy paste where people went through. It was like, okay, first things first, keyword Trump, crack knuckles. And then it was just like, everything that came up. But I would say a lot of the stuff that came out, a lot of people were like, yeah, this is old. This person is this person is like psychologically deranged from all this other stuff. These were not this. And then a whole bunch of victims came out that were like, oh, it's so awesome that you could redact everything, but our names are clear as day all over the papers.
That's fucked up.
That was kind of fucked up too, because like that's the whole point. The government is like, we're trying to protect the victims, and the victims are like, what the hell? Like, my name's all over that. I was like 13 when that happened. Can I get some grace? So
there was apparently like a note that Bill Gates was trying to slip his wife antibiotics because he inadvertently gave her an STD.
That's the part I read about that.
Here's
I do.
a Z-Pack.
But it's like if you're going to question
I
part of it, you got to question all of it, right?
Yeah.
Then you can't pick and choose like, oh, the Trump stuff, but the Bill Gates stuff is real.
Well, it's different if the Bill Gates stuff came from his email and the Trump stuff came from a lady that was already proven wrong on three other accounts when she was.
Fair point.
Like,
very fair point.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff came out of these people's actual emails, and then other stuff are accusatory, like of just like he said, she said stuff. So yeah, I definitely thought the Bill Gates stuff, like, what a dirty fucker. He goes to this island and gets his wife a sexually transmitted disease, and he's like, what, we can't just sneak it into her like daily vitamins?
I want to just believe that Bill Gates shows up to the island and he's like, that one. And at some point, someone's like, "There's no amount of money, Bill. Like, I know you can afford it. Just there's no amount of money. This is never happening."
Like, it's a 17-year-old girl, and she's like,
Yeah,
"I'll pay for
just
my own
like-
massage school, Bill. No thanks."
There was a man recently who was convicted of apparently trying to kill his wife by putting lead or something into her drinks, and was like slowly killing her like day by day, and she was like deteriorating over like a year span, and all of a sudden got cancer and like all this lead in her fucking cervix area and all this shit. And yeah, there's different ways of and methods of killing your spouse. You
Why
try to
wouldn't
blame
you
it
just
on
go
her.
for the ethylene glycol?
Apparently, women poison
Crazy.
more often than men do.
Well, probably actually. Yeah.
It seems like their Black Widow little trait. Goodbye,
Yeah.
Earl. Put it in his food. Like, that
Low
seems
key,
like
it's like less gory.
yeah.
But why
I wanna,
go there? Shit. Just divorce
we
them.
can talk
Come
about
on.
the Epstein stuff more later, because I know that's a big topic tonight. Like, that's a whole thing.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. I think another big topic is everything going on in Minnesota, and like Don Lemon getting arrested would be like a thing. I think he's already out of jail. Bond.
I'm still. This is how far behind I am. I just found out about the bananas and rice meme today.
Oh my god.
Like, I think I saw it before, but I didn't get it, and I finally saw the clip, and I finally get it now. But I feel like that happened a year ago already.
She does look so much like Elon Omar, that girl. Oh, Elon Omar's fake apple cider vinegar spray terrorist attack
Yeah, that
happened this
too.
week. Nicki
Wasn't
Minaj.
Well,
was
wasn't
this
she
week.
voted out or something recently today or something? She was voted out of something.
That sounds
I just-
unlikely.
I don't know. She was voted out of something today. I got to check it. But
I wanna be rich.
I'm
was
so
gonna
out of
say
the loop. I
something
haven't been
before
on
that.
social media for a week. It's been a week.
I am never more convinced than I am right now to just not live in Minneapolis.
Oh, the Somalis.
The
Well, they
weather would have done it for me.
You said how
Wow.
she looked like a certain person. Well,
Yeah.
Somalis all have this, like, not all, but a majority of them, if you see them, like odd shaped skulls, it's like a lot of inbreeding happens there. And the fact that, like, they believe in circumcising women and all of that, and of course they do to the men, but it's like a lot of, like, it's like a trauma.
It's like bananas
Face.
and rice.
Yeah, it's that. It's like it's like, I don't know how to explain it. We've talked about it
You
before.
sound
but
just
yeah.
like that girl explaining bananas and rice for real.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it. So
I don't even know what you
can't
guys are
find the
talking
words.
about.
yeah. Let me find
It's
her.
like we're bananas and rice. It's, I don't know
No,
how
it starts out, you know what? We're so much more than bananas and rice. People think we're just bananas and rice. But you know what we're like? Bananas and rice.
what the fuck eats bananas and rice?
She says, I'm Somali, and being a Somali American means a lot more than bananas and rice. It's like there's more that goes to it. It's like bananas and rice, you know? Like, I
God.
feel like that
I
was
don't-
pretty exact.
I don't fault her at all for not being a good public speaker. Most people aren't, and being in a room with cameras pointed at you, especially like in the pressure of the moment. But I definitely fault whoever put her in front of the camera and was like, "All right, she's ready. She's the one. Let's put her in front of this
She
camera."
was no
right now."
Rosa Parks, is what you're saying.
Yeah, whoever like anointed her like messed up, I think.
She was arrested recently after all of this, apparently.
I'm proud to be Somali.
Participating in
To me, being
whatever
Somali isn't just eating bananas with
shit.
rice. It's a
was
lot.
arrested.
It's like it's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American, but it's like a cultural fusion. It's
really
kind of
hear it.
like the bananas and rice.
Oh.
So I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali.
You guys hear it?
I heard
To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American, but it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice. So I'm Somali.
And I think the other
She's
funny
so
part of that one
articulate.
too was that
She, she kind of valley girl for
she
Yeah.
had the Band-Aid, right? And she kept saying that she had gotten like assaulted and that there was like a scar there. There was a scab there. And then a couple days later when she gets arrested without the Band-Aid, there's like there's no mark of a scab or anything.
So wild. We're watching a movie.
the entire thing's ludicrous.
It really is.
Somebody, she looks like pre-zombie. I know. I'm not trying to. If I had to pick a race that I felt in, whatever, this is racist. If I had to pick a race that I felt like looked like the most alien, it's Somali to me. They got that gray alien thing. Like, I think that Aleister Crowley was just drawing pictures of Somalis.
I mean, you could just Google it and you'll see what we're talking about. It's not like trying to be mean, but they have this look. And it's like,
No, something
Crazy
happens with a
eyes.
certain amount of inbredness. Because
Yeah.
I was hearing somebody, like, a lot of people big up the Amish all the time. Like, big ups, big ups, big ups. But they also have a lot of inbreeding. There's also a lot of trauma and a lot of crime that goes on. But like every other church, they only have to report within. But I feel like Amish have that look of inbred. It just looks different.
I think that they hide the real bad ones in the attic and in the basement. I don't think you're
You
seeing
never get
like
to
the
see
best
them.
that Amish inbreeding truly has to offer.
See, I even wonder that, like, in like fundamentalist, like Mormon fundamentalist compounds and stuff. Like,
Maria got the
I
bananas
realize
and
some of
rice.
these men have like 80 kids, but like, if one man fathers 80 kids and those 80 kids are breeding with other people, like, I don't know. It just seems like a straight up family tree at some point.
Amish versus Somali. I think Amish win all day.
Like, what do you mean? In what way?
Oh yeah,
If there's an
Like
equal
inbred
number of
looking?
pretty much
Somali
anyway.
versus an equal number of Amish, yeah, I think the Amish win.
Yeah, I think in a
Yeah.
fight and a build off and
Yeah.
an IQ, like pick the
In a
contest. I think
drop them
yeah.
both in the middle of nowhere.
And
Well,
who's gonna?
I don't know, man. The women of Somalia are like fucking crazy too, man. Like, imagine holding down like little girls and like mutilating them and shit. Like they got balls. They can endure a lot of shit.
How old is Somalia as a country?
I don't
I'm
know.
just guessing it's a piece of shit. But the Amish, they've only had their little area and have decided to stop technically. And their stuff, I bet you anything they build will last longer than Somalia is still a country.
65 years old.
There's still
That's how
lots
old
and
it is.
lots of
65.
there's a lot of Amish dudes that are like banging the livestock. Apparently, it's like a big thing.
It's a huge thing. They're very cruel.
I
to
bet there's a
animals in
lot
the
of
Amish.
non-Amish dudes who do that too. If we're being honest, I think men like to stick it in holes. Sorry.
I've seen one recently of a man with his shepherd dog or some kind of dog for the lambs and sheep. He pulls it aside and he starts, doing its thing with its fucking dog
Where is this?
in some weird country, one of these Arab countries, somewhere in God knows where. I have to find the video, but I mean, what's the point in
You
watching
don't
it?
have to. You can. I'll tweet it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need it. We don't need the video.
Poor fucking dog. Humans are weird. I get the elite. I really do. I really do. I don't blame them for anything that they're doing. I really don't.
Imagine just out of bad luck, right? Like some Illuminati member comes down and he does it like once every 50 years because he lives for like thousands of years, and every 50 years he just happens to come across like an inbred idiot. Like he could come across anyone, but he just keeps coming across idiots, and then he goes back and reports and he's like, yeah, they're not ready yet, they're still cooking.
Like just has to keep dumbing down. Like there has to be that. And then they're like, let's leave him alone for a while. And then we'll come back and visit him in a few whatever years. And they're like, there's Sentinel
They're
Island.
still banging dogs and their sisters. Hold all right. Give them another 100 years.
But I just don't understand how there's just still this level of like humanity that exists out there that is just like, some say like, oh, they're, one with, but then there's some countries that are just like so barbaric. I don't understand how that still exists with all the religious books that exist on top of that.
Sound Mind 69. I once saw a woman breastfeeding her dog on Omegle. People say it's just men, but some women are
Oh, no, it's
twisted.
just women too. Oh, yeah.
No, we know women are twisted, but a majority, if you're talking about fucking
Yeah.
animals, it's men. Let's just, we have to be able to say facts when they're facts.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah. Are there twisted
They have
bitches?
this thing they
Yes.
want to put it in a hole. They're not really freaking caring.
I feel like if you were to separate this Western world versus Eastern world, or like Middle Eastern world, I feel like it would be different. Like if it was Western world, it might be more even between genders. But once you start including Middle Eastern worlds, now all of a sudden it skews men, like it just like skyrockets.
Probably accurate.
Probably,
I'm
yeah.
gonna agree with
America,
you.
I would say. Yeah. No, but then you have like weirdos in fucking Asia who like do this weird shit too. Like,
And there's a lot of them too, I guess. Yeah.
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 There's a whole island. They're
They got like towers of people doing all this with dogs and like a big, like out to the sky.
Humans are weird. Humans are aliens. Begonia is a great fucking film.
How is it? Could you even be a religious person at all in fuck animals? Like, there's none, right?
I mean, Amish,
No.
right? Amish is legitimately a religious thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, are you
Yeah.
allowed, or is it
Where
frowned
you're allowed
upon?
to, yeah. I don't think any of them preach
I don't
that.
know. I don't know. Who knows what the workaround? I'm sure there has to be some kind of a workaround or justification for it. I don't know. We need to get a self-admitted Amish goat fucker and see what they say about it.
I know this is, I think, kind of interesting about the teachers. Do you
Yeah.
notice the teachers are always hot?
Yeah.
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 It's always a good looking teacher. I almost feel like it's normalizing. The only ones we ever hear about, it's never like the scary, like Nurse Ratchet teacher.
Mm-mm.
It's always like the very young, vibrant, where everyone's like, damn, every man always says, I wish my teacher would have hooked up with me when I was in high school, which I almost feel like is a grooming of all of us, that those are the only stories we hear. It's like the Mary Kay Letourneau of it all. Like his head was four
well-
times the size of her head. I always
Teachers
thought
are
that
different
about the
now
picture
looking
looked
now
fake.
too, though. But teachers are like all almost pretty. Like they all are fashionable, pretty. I'm not gonna say all, but I'm gonna say, in general, female teachers look good now. So I can see
Well, they
that.
kind of have to, right? Because like you got to moonlight as like a TikToker or something in order to make the actual ends meet.
Yeah, well, and I think it started as Pinterest because like they were doing Pinterest for classrooms. Then all of a sudden it's like Pinterest for how to dress and stuff. It was like how to accessorize as a teacher. And trust me, I've been all down all those rabbit holes. So
What is the ultimate, like in your experience, what's the long-term goal for a lot of the teachers? Are they lifers, or are they like, do they want to like write a kid's book at some point, or they want to like, I don't know.
I think you go into it thinking, you're going to be a lifer, but the average teacher only lasts 3 years. And I thought I was going to last longer than 3 years, but I only lasted 3 years as a teacher. And then I like got offered IT in the school district, and I was like, yeah, let's do this. And it's the best move I ever made. But I think a lot of times, yeah, once make it past the 3 year mark, you're a lifer. And the only way up is to like get your master's degree and pursue being a principal. But God, who wants that responsibility? I would never want to do that.
Why are there like all the female PE teachers were lesbians? Like not
they
all,
Mine were.
not all, but
yeah.
a
All of
high
mine were.
percentage.
All ours, yes.
I would,
My
if I
middle
were a
school
lesbian
basketball
back in
was
like the
volleyball
70s and
coach.
shit, I would have been nervous to become a PE teacher because it would have outed me.
Yeah.
But I think it was like one of the few accepted roles. It was like being a court jester a little bit.
You're allowed to do female PE. That was like the
Like if
lesbian role
if
in
you didn't
society.
have a butch lesbian or even any kind of lesbian PE teacher for the girls, then you didn't probably have a really good softball team.
Yeah, you probably didn't care about your female athletics. That's so
We were
crazy.
scared of ours, I remember.
That's a
in,
good sign, though,
elementary
right?
school. Yeah. She was mad butch.
You weren't trying to fuck her.
Oh, she was mad butch. I was like, whoa.
We all had the same haircuts.
It was like the pixie, man cut. Yeah.
Wasn't too far off. I could totally a female PE teacher or like a sharp. It was like here and curly, like tight curl.
Yes, the
Like
curls. Oh my gosh.
Tight curl.
We had four. 2 of them were just coaches and 2 of them were PE teachers. The 2 PE teachers had the short haircuts, but then the 2 female coaches had like the curly like kind of mullet, and it was like they were all.
Did
they
you
were
guys have
all
to wear a
lesbian.
uniform in gym?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had to dress out, but we
Was
didn't have a
it
uniform.
short and tight and white?
Oh, yeah.
Like
No,
I felt like
ours-
there was a lot going on. And like looking back, that
Ours
was
was
probably the
sweatpants and
skimpiest thing
t-shirt
I ever wore
or
through
shorts.
junior high school was my gym uniform.
Ours was
so
just
short.
sweatpants, t-shirt, shorts, loose, comfy.
Yeah.
Did any of you have to do take showers in PE in school at any
Oh
point?
no, thank God.
Not in
Yes.
New York City, in New Jersey, yeah. In
They
that
made
really
you?
nice school. Yeah. Not made you, but like it was the option after like pool because we had pool class where you could go swimming. And I was so shocked.
Damn,
Like,
that's baller.
yeah, we never had that in New York City. So we had that. And then after you had the option of like taking a shower, washing all the chlorine off of you, or just drip dry. Sometimes I would, sometimes I wouldn't, depending on if I had time or not.
We had showers, but I remember even if you needed one, if you actually tried to take a shower, you were gay and you would get beat up
Yeah.
immediately. So if you had PE in the morning, you just had a stink for the rest of the day because the second anyone got in the shower, you would immediately get flagged as gay and get beat. Like that day, you'd get beat up.
In 8th
Whoa.
grade and in 9th grade, or 7th grade and 8th grade, we had to shower.
Hmm.
And then it was optional in 9th grade and every year after. But we had
I'm
to.
so glad I didn't have to.
And I
That would
felt
be
New
like in
York,
7th
traumatizing.
never.
grade, our teacher would stand at the shower and check if we had our bra on under our towel.
Oh my God.
That's strange.
You know, there's people that when they signed up for that job like the year before, that like that's the moment that they had been looking forward to when they joined that job.
I think about too, like I had a typing teacher in school, and you just think about how all those ladies in offices coming up and they were just typing a bazillion words a minute, just doing their thing. And then somebody becomes a typing teacher. And there's like computers in my school when I'm coming up, but we don't have computers everywhere yet. And that lady was right. That little secretary that taught everyone was just like, there was probably guys at her, like the gym teacher walking by. Oh, Mr. So-and-so, I'll teach you how to type. I'll never need it.
My
Like her
favorite
little
was
skill
that
became-
class actually, because you had to like, I don't know, the sound, maybe it was my ADHD or whatever kind of like sensory thing that I
Yeah.
had, but like you had to follow the word that was on the screen and just type it out like as fast as you can. And you would have to like type certain words per minute. It was probably my favorite thing to do as a kid.
Do you remember how fast
Just
you
fucking
were?
type. No, not at all.
We
But
had
I
word
loved it.
processors.
Mm-hmm. That or computers.
That was
We
the
had
first thing
Mac.
we
That's the
figured out how
sound.
to beat on a computer. It was
Yep.
like you didn't have to type. There was a certain part in every sentence that you could just go blah, 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 and it didn't
Yep.
matter. So we figured out what part that was. We were getting like 300 words per minute. 350. Like
They even
we
taught us how to
beat it.
like create a website. I remember it was just like create your name like in an art page and then take that HTML, create an HTML with it and create a website with your drawing that you made on the Mac computer. I remember that we did that. Oregon Trail, loved playing that. That was the shit back in the day.
Have you ever
Computer class.
heard the theory that Oregon Trail tracked results and it flagged because it was in like all these different schools, right? Where like people would go and use it during like lunch or at the library or whatever. But that it would flag a school whenever a kid made it to the end in a certain amount of time, or made another one too is that whenever you would get to a river crossing, you could either pay for a ferry or you could just send your ass
Board
right
it.
along and just like risk it and see if you
Board
drown
the
your
river.
oxen. And one of the theories is that they would flag schools that had an abnormally high number of kids that would just send their oxen right into the water because it means that they might be risk takers that could be advantageous to the government.
Hey, I always boarded the river, and I would make it to Oregon.
Yeah. So you might have been recruited for the CIA. Who knows?
What
I
do you
didn't
guys
always.
know?
I did it like every third time. I was good with it and I wanted to keep a certain amount of my resources. So I always waited till I was capped on resources so I could afford to lose even up to 2/3 of my resources in the river. So I like planned for gathering up it, like I'd have enough money to gather more resources up.
I got to work with the original designer of that game and of Carmen Sandiego when we were at Disney.
Yay.
That's awesome. Carmen Sandiego was fun too.
We do
Maria.
both. Twink?
I've been out of Wi-Fi since the grid went down in Nashville, so if this sounds terrible, just let me know and I'll peace out.
Oh,
You
you
sound
sound
good.
great.
It's an all
Also, I
audio episode.
fucking ripped some Oregon Trail back in the day. There was also a game called the Yukon Trail where you went and found gold in California. There was also a game called the Amazon Trail where you were down in the fucking Amazon, but I was fucking ripped that time. What a time.
It was that one and it was Carmen Sandiego. I think they were like kind of neck and neck.
That was almost my avatar when I created Maria. I was like somewhere between Carmen Sandiego and Elvira from Scarface.
Carmen Sandiego. I didn't Carmen Sandiego, but I'm old compared to y'all. I didn't Carmen as much.
I always wanted to dress up as her for Halloween, but I was like, next year my legs will be ready.
There was a game called Amusement Park. And now when I look at that fucking game on the computer, I'm just like, oh, this is just division and multiplication.
Fucking roller coaster tycoon, get at me.
Well,
In high
that's in a whole
school,
different sect of
we
games.
I don't
played
remember that.
Leisure Suit Larry. Did any of you guys play those?
I played that one. I
That
actually,
was
Which
so
one?
fun. I love that game.
I think I
Leisure
actually
Suit Larry.
spent like $4 to call the 900 number to get like a tip to get like beyond
I
something.
didn't know you could actually do that.
Do you remember
Did
when you
your
bought
parents go ahead?
magazines that had cheat codes in them for your games back in the day? Like, what a time.
Oh my god, yeah. Holy
Whole
shit.
magazine. I loved magazines for a while.
What were they called, those magazines?
It was like Game Informer and Nintendo
Yeah.
Power and
Yeah. Game
PlayStation
Informer.
Monthly.
That's what we did before phones. We did a lot of
Mhm.
magazines. Like
Yeah.
we had magazines about everything.
I looking back too, and because like if you go and look at magazines now, I think it's just an age thing when you're younger. But how many magazines you buy? They just had like 8 photos of some musician, some dumb musician, just in like 8 poses, full page, and like the same like vapid interview over and over again, and then you would just have like 20 magazines, right? Like, what is it? What content did you learn
Teen
or
Bop.
glean from it?
It was just
You
I
bought
would
it for
put
the
up.
posters.
Yeah, it was like you bound for posters.
I had to have so
exactly.
many like
I needed my Leo.
Dylan
I had
and like
I had
shit
I
just so
had
I
New
could
Kids
get
on the Block wall.
I had stupid Chris O'Donnell just so I could have Drew Barrymore.
Sneak 'em in.
Yeah, I had to be like, yeah, ma, I just love Chris O'Donnell, crazy love, but really I just was like Drew Barrymore. It's amazing.
She
I'm
was
getting
hot
away
when
with
she was
it.
young.
Yeah, no one
Makes
knows.
sense because I never thought Chris O'Donnell was cute. So
Yeah, me either. It's so
I
funny.
was talking to Chaney about this the other day, how interesting it is, like the like the time between a child's want and like the time between it gets it. So like back in the day, like if we wanted to watch a movie, there was such a great deal of time in between the choice to make like to watch that movie and then to travel to Blockbuster to see if it's available, maybe even not for it not to be there. So much so that we were constantly craving content in probably the exact same way that we are now, but we just didn't have access. So you were willing to watch Nick at Night, Golden Girls. Like we have the knowledge of pop culture that we do because we didn't have any sort of instant gratification and we were forced to consume everything. So yeah, you looked at the magazine that had the same article written 5 different times. But also like we thought People Magazine was real. Like, you know what I mean?
We thought they all like the
Like that, we thought that
Inquirer.
was organic. Now,
I also think
obviously,
it was like a blessing and a curse though, because even thinking back, you had less channels because you had fewer corporations controlling more share, right? And like less user generated content and all of that. But it also meant that we had fewer options to pick from, so therefore more commonalities among all of us. So if you got into a room of people, one person there had seen X-Files at least, maybe even like 10 or 20 of them, or they'd all seen like a Terminator, or maybe they'd seen Friends or something, because the options were somewhat limited, so that you could always find some kind of common ground with someone through media, as stupid as that sounds. But now the complete opposite's there, is where you get 100 people in a room. If like 20 of them watch TikTok and 20 watch YouTube and 20 don't do it anything and 20 do podcasts, there might be zero commonality between all 100 people, which is somewhat different than like 30 or 40 years ago.
Yeah, it does take some of the communal thread of now we might have a Super Bowl where everyone's like, do you see who's at the halftime? But not even everyone's watching the Oscars anymore. Like those award shows used to be a thing where it's like everyone would watch the award shows.
The Super Bowl and the award shows, I think the Super Bowl and the halftime show, it almost feels like the family holiday you have to go home for, just because that's the only time you're gonna like see the rest of the family. You know what I mean? So it's not like people show up to it. It's like you have to see it. Like, oh, I gotta see what the commercials are. I gotta see if something happened. But I don't know how many people actually are like hyped to watch the whole thing.
I think this year I felt like I noticed football for the first time since when that guy took a knee and all the like rednecks got mad at NFL
Colin
football.
Kaepernick, yeah.
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 It like when that part of the ritual happened, it really seemed like we had a fall off where people just didn't care about football as much anymore. But I feel like we are back with a vengeance, and everyone,
yeah.
the only reason why they don't care right now is their team didn't make it. But everyone, I am also hearing for the first time ever, sports is rigged. Where people are like, this is rigged as shit. This is rigged as shit. And I'm like, oh, this is headed in a good direction.
Yeah, that's what I
Because of
see
the
more and more.
sports betting. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Sports betting, I think, is going to like really like because how does Vegas and how does the mob allow? I mean, obviously, certain things that Vegas and the mob do are controlled and intentional in a psyop or whatever. But sports generally, like getting into like the betting that it at the level that it is now, how can they continue to perpetuate the loosh that is sports when you're literally losing your fucking like more people are losing their house on sports betting than ever before.
But the
Yeah.
betting is what drives the scripted nature of the sports to begin with. It's like this vicious cycle because there was in basketball, for example, there was a ref that got caught where he was calling more fouls on certain teams based on what the votes were, like what the stakes were, right? So if he could put money on a team that he was also reffing, if he calls more on like one of their star players and gets them kicked out of the game, now all of a sudden he has a much higher chance. And I think it was something out of like 75 games, they won like 65 and they only lost 10. So he was printing money by doing this. And he was getting away with it, except John Gotti had gotten popped for doing completely unrelated stuff. And they start going through all of John Gotti's records and they just find this trail and they trace it all the way back to this NBA ref. And they bring it to the NBA commissioner. I think it was Daniel Stern at the time. And when they gave him this information, the NBA just immediately leaked it to the press so that it would turn into a frenzy. And then the NBA was like, we got it. It's this one rogue ref. There's totally no one else doing this. There's definitely no owners doing any of this. Like, it's this one guy, and we found him, so you guys should come and get this guy out of here. And it was like, it was the mask had like slipped and it made it so freaking obvious. And then the ref even came out later and he said that when he first started reffing games, he would call like legitimate fouls on certain players and he had people coming up to him and be like, bro, what are you doing? He was like, well, it was a foul. And he's like, yeah, I know it's a foul, but you can't call a foul on him. And him was like Michael Jordan, I think, at the time. So he understood that it's an entertainment business. And then if you call fouls on the star players in the middle of their like big game, big shot game, like on all their different plays, then all of a sudden people aren't going to care as much. So like there's these special rules. Like, yeah, you're a ref, but you're a ref with a certain wink understanding. And by the way, if you want to bet on the game on the side, like just don't get caught doing it.
I think all those guys, they get them guys addicted to gambling too. Not that anyone gets anyone addicted to anything, but they're like 18, 19-year-old kids that come into all these sports. And then they're kind of owned by these billionaires. Like they get in gambling debts. That's why I think Michael Jordan had to go and play for a baseball team and play for the Wizards, is because he was in gambling debt. I would also be such a conspiracy theorist to say I think that's why his dad got killed.
Yeah.
It's because Michael Jordan was that kind of gambler.
I've looked deep into it. It's not impossible. It seems improbable just based on what actually happened to his pops. But there was a guy that was pretty deep into some like illegal operations and gambling that got found with Michael Jordan's a check for like 15 grand or something on him. And Michael Jordan had to explain that real quick. And that was kind of followed by him. Like, I'm just going to take a step away from basketball real quick at the height of my career.
And people are even saying like certain games, like there was a certain game he had a flu, but he had bet on the Bulls to cover the spread. And so he just kept taking the ball the whole time.
The story on that one is a little bit wild. It's that it was
Pizza Hut one.
It was 2 a.m. and he was hungry and there was like a Pizza Hut and he orders the pizza and apparently this is like according to him that he orders this pizza and everyone's like, don't eat it, Michael. Don't eat it, Michael. And like 5 delivery
But it was the only
guys
place
show
open.
up, and they deliver this pizza and no one else touches the pizza. Only Michael touches it because everyone's convinced that they did something to the pizza because they knew Michael Jordan was there and he was in enemy territory for the huge game, right? And that's what made him sick, was that he ate this pizza and he got sick from it. But yeah, like I like all the different Michael Jordan theories on this.
I like all the sports theories and all these guys. I even think Kobe Bryant's interesting to when he first comes in the league, goes to Colorado to get a surgery. I really believe Kobe Bryant just wakes up and they're like, here's your fork in the road, sir. You're going to walk out of here and everybody's going to think you raped a girl. Or you're going to take blame, we're going to do this, or this is going to happen to you. Like, I just think that's how easy it is. I don't even think he has to ever be involved. I think that's how you're just asleep and you wake up with a horse head next to you. And you're like, oh shit, I got to make this decision now. I don't think there's an option of not being owned when you're at that level of playing for the script, like LeBron James. And they're just like, oh, LeBron has to break a record tonight. Make sure we get him the ball.
You just show up to someone's house and you're like, oh my God, why is there a dead hooker in your pool? And then it's all over. Like, you've already got them.
Yeah. You're like, what? That's why I feel for some people where they're like, why didn't they call the cops? Why didn't they call the cops? I'm like, because they were like, oh my God, everybody's going to think I did this.
Yeah.
Like, that's why. Even if they didn't do it. So you're like, oh no, it's just been me and you here. I left to the store. I come back. You're dead in the pool. Fuck.
Have you met cops? You know what it is too, though? A lot of people say that kind of thing that haven't actually gone through the system. Haven't had to go through like the raw end of police particularly. It's a lot easier to be like, oh, just call the cops here. I'll just invite them over here and I'm sure they'll be completely having great days, totally rational and understandable 100% of the time. There's no way that they could show up and be charged from like a previous thing going on that's unrelated to me, and now I get swept up into something I wasn't expecting.
Or politically, it's like we all commit some crime in our neck of the woods, but somebody's running for office and they're like, you know what? We're just going to wrap this all up and we're going to tie it on Layla. Like, I just think sometimes in
Washing my
politics,
hands
they're
of it.
like, we're going to just make the town feel safe and I'm going to have high approval numbers because this is what's happening. And that's where I feel like serial killers.
Think about this. The police could completely be wrong and charge you with a crime, and you have to go through the whole court process. And there's and there could be no merit to their claim whatsoever. And there's no mechanism for you to get your money back that you paid me. And
Yeah.
you might be out minimally $2,500 for something that has absolutely no merit against you whatsoever. And they're just like, sorry, guys.
Oopsie
Like,
day.
my bad.
Charge you to the
I'm so
game.
glad you had that extra money around for an attorney because you fucked. Also, the death of Kobe Bryant was the first time that I truly observed Loosh, like prior to really understanding what Loosh was, you know?
Watching like grown men get caught. That was where you were like, whoa, you're really upset about this.
Mm-hmm.
You mean the helicopter thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, like his death generally. Like at the time, I used to watch this like daily pop culture podcast, and one of them would talk about her husband every single day being so upset about Kobe's death, so upset about Kobe's death. Like it meant so much to them, blah 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 blah. Like he meant so much in his life, and I was just like, dude, this is a fucking celebrity. Like this is palpable. I was still like into this kind of stuff, but I didn't understand Lush yet, and there's something about that spell and the way that it started the COVID pandemic thereafter. I think it's interesting.
It was kind of a hero spell. Like sports stars are like, oh, who's better than Tom Brady? And then it's like when you look at the Patriots in the grand scheme of how many Super Bowls they've won in like the last 20 years, you're like, Robert Kraft has literally been involved in a sex trafficking ring and not only got him and every other person off too. And I just think this is the kind of level of power. Like, my slaves beat your slaves. My script beats your script. I'm a better chess player than you.
I
It's like
do 100% agree. Like all the people they got off on in both ways, but like legally got off of the Epstein case, right? The ones that are like their names are in there and they know that they're in there and they see it and they're like, oh, that's a real one actually. Like I did say that, but I'm just not going to say anything and get away with it. That seems like the high level of sport. Like that's their version of like Kobe hitting the three from, the side or whatever. Like it's I brushed with the law and I got away with it. Ha. Like I win. I win this one and you lost this one.
And nothing like I don't live by the same laws as you. I don't.
Yeah, it's
like.
it's literally it's like Jordan knows that like I can travel and I can make this dunk and I can foul you on the way there and I know that they won't call me because I'm the star child. Watch me do it.
Or do you really think that Penn State and everything with that homie was the only one of the colleges in the country doing the exact same thing? Or do you think they had to cut ties? And that's why when they were
With
like
Ohio too. Ohio also was doing the exact same thing with the wrestling
wrestlers,
team
yeah.
that then spread to the rest of them.
So it's just like, I don't know. I just think it's rather curious. Like in the Epstein
Even
of it
The
all.
Blind Side. Because
What was that?
The Blind
Sandra,
Side with
what
the
did
same
Sandra Bullock
idea,
do?
Blind Side and Ole Miss. Like they
Yeah, I don't know.
they recruited that boy in high school and adopted him, and
Yeah, that's the Sandra Bullock movie, right?
yeah, because they were Ole Miss fans, and then he ends up going to Ole Miss. Yeah, it's called The Blind Side.
Well, I know about it, but what does it have to do with human trafficking or just him? He's kind of human trafficked.
Oh no, I thought you guys were talking about the fakeness of like sports there, paying.
Maria, I think you're a little robotic or underwater. Yeah, thank you. It was Sandusky. The whole Sandusky thing. Sometimes you have to go out and come back in if you feel like.
And he got away with it, by the way. Actually, I think all of them got away with it, but the Ohio guy got away with it.
Oh yeah, because I also feel like Jim Jordan,
Yes,
he's part of it.
Jim Jordan was assistant coach while it was happening, and
Yeah.
the guy that was doing it was the team coach. And basically, the story was that people would be getting recruited out of high school or getting recruited just like early 20s for this wrestling team, had never been to like a sports doctor before. They've got scholarships that depend on them being on this team, so they would go to get checked out by the doctor, and the doctor would just go way overboard, but they would just claim that they didn't know any better. Like, I guess this is what the doctor does, and by the way, if I make a big problem about this, then they'll take my scholarship away and then I got to go back home. So like everyone just kind of played along, and it turned to a joke like, Doc must like you. And it just became this thing. But a few of them complained. And when they complained directly to Jim Jordan, and they even have some like quotes on them. And what's crazy is that it happened to more than just students. It happened to like a teacher. At some point, a teacher went to take a shower and the same guy like assaulted him in the shower. And that teacher didn't say anything either until he brought it up to Jim Jordan. And Jim Jordan's like, hey, the doc's going to do what the doc's going to do, man. You know, Doc, you crazy Doc. And Jim Jordan is still like, a politician right now.
Well, that shit happened in USA Gymnastics too. Like the whole entire, I mean, for years and years, the big doctor in USA Gymnastics, like for all the girls who ended up on the elite level and competing to go to the Olympics, they're all getting freaking molested by this doctor. And it happens all the way up, actually, like the coaches, everything, but that they're no longer USA Gymnastics because of it. They changed the branding of the entire league.
Huh.
That was the case that spawned
Dominique
the Ohio guys.
Dawes or whatever. Dawson, Dominique.
No, Simone Biles and all
Look
of
at how
them.
is
It
that
was
the
it was
only
the
other
last.
black? Did I just name the only other? Did I just so racist? Like Chaney.
Dominique Dawes is 90s.
They're not all
Simone
the
Biles
same
and then
black
Gabby Douglas
gymnast.
are no.
They're different
not.
black gymnasts. Chaney. Yeah, but you're right. Simone Biles.
Even worse because I don't even recognize any of those names.
My body doesn't like the last name
Bile.
My
Thank you,
daughters
Layla.
are like high level. My daughters are high level gymnastics
you,
or
Layla.
gymnasts. So they competed
I
USA
heard it. I was
Gymnastics.
like, ew, what an odd last name.
You're like, I'm glad her last name's not Simone Pussy.
Pussy.
Pussy Biles.
My Maria is Feel free to come and go as you damn well please. I do know she has bad service right now, same as Abbie. So the people that are in the frozen neck of the woods, which will be oddly enough
Us.
in Florida, come to, like, I think tomorrow and the next day it's gonna snow probably where
really?
both of you guys are at, correct?
I don't know about snow, but I know it's gonna be fucking cold as fuck. 20 degrees type weather. And that 20 degrees is
Well,
like,
I just hope you guys don't have freezing rain.
it's not like New York. This cold is
Test.
different.
Yes,
Yes,
Amy.
loud and clear.
May I add
Sounded.
briefly? Appy was bringing up the guy from The Blind Side because they literally human trafficked a black kid off the side of the road in Memphis. But I also know that family, and I just wanted to say that, which is really interesting.
Wow.
Their daughter dated one of, or is married to one of my friends at the time, who is the son of Fred Smith and owns FedEx. Just so many rich people in Memphis. Anyways, this came up briefly and then they never talked about it ever again, but it's one of the ways that you can like legally control someone. They convinced I can't, Michael Orr, I think is his name. They opened a conservatorship over him. So here's a little legal tidbit of the day. You have two powers over your person: the power
Oh,
to make decisions for your person, and the power over your purse, which is essentially like if you've ever executed powers of attorney. Those are the two components that make that up. If somebody you know ever thinks you can't do anything appropriately anymore, they can petition a court and get a conservatorship over you, or they take over your power over your person and the power over your purse. So they did this with Michael Orr in a court in Memphis, and it existed in perpetuity. And there was like no checks. Nobody
oh my
ever did
God.
any like checkups on it, and they allegedly controlled his money for over like 15 years until just a couple years ago. But this is also
So he's essentially a Britney
what the gays
Spears.
used to do before marriage was legal. Is sometimes they would adopt each other in order to effectuate their estate plan when you couldn't do that otherwise.
That is a good
Smart.
that it sounds like a Kardashian. Like how they just like marry someone and then they just own them forever.
Classic
Afterward.
gays.
What's that movie though? Get Out. It's like very Get Out. Like, oh, look at that large black man on the side of the road. Let's take him in, put a little money into him for a year, and then hope to have an investment
It is kind of
forever.
crazy. Speaking of Hollywood, did you guys see that Catherine O'Hara passed away?
R.I.P.
It was kind of out of celebrities that we've lost. It was kind of crazy just universally. I didn't see anyone that was like 333 and she died at this time. Like I didn't see one person yet that really went hard at everybody was like blanketly like, "Oh, I liked her."
It's the Beetlejuice ritual. She died in Beetlejuice too.
That's where I was going to interrupt where we'd be like, "I don't want to talk about that anymore. I'd rather talk about Dale." Dale.
I do
But-
like that when COVID happened, she got it, but she didn't tell anyone, and she just like kept going to work and going to like jobs and like spread it to a few different people in Hollywood. So I feel like she might be OG, like secret OG.
Oh, she might be like Secret Society of Good Guys.
the
Is what you're
macro.
saying.
Maybe it's. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a chance.
You're telling me there's a chance. My weird Hollywood story is one time I went to the Martin Short show, and I was with a different friend of mine, Maria, and my other friend Mo, and we got baked. And then we didn't realize it was going to take so long of our day, and like how many times they put up the applaud sign, and Martin Short wasn't funny, and we got tired of fake clapping. But my homegirl Maria was like, "I'm just not anymore. Like I'm over this. I'm not getting paid for this. You're trapping me in here. I'm no longer fake smiling." And so you don't even realize how many times they pan over the camera in an audience during a live show, and every time they pan over, everyone's like, "Ah!" Oops, I hit my camera. Everyone's so excited. Yay, yay, yay. And you're like, who gives a shit? Like, who gives it? So every time they kept having to redo it. They went over the audience like 10 times. Martin Short had to get up out of the audience and come to my friend Maria and be like, will you please just like feign like you're having a good time? Anyways, the guest of that show was Catherine O'Hara. And the only reason we were even there at all is because we were just like, oh, we like her. And so it's weird that in the same way that I'm like, oh, everybody kind of felt that way. No one talks shit about her yet. I mean, I'm sure all over TikTok tomorrow it'll be there, but
What's that name? Vaughn. He does podcasting. He's kind of funny on his podcast. Vaughn. He has like
I
a
know who you're talking
mullet.
about.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is his name? Vaughn something. He's funny on
Von
his
Braun? I don't
podcast.
know.
Comedy show.
Theo Von.
There you go,
Theo
Theo
Von.
Vaughn. Yeah. Comedy show, terrible. I was like, this is not funny. Like, I wasted like 2 hours on a long drive just to go see him for no fucking reason. But anyway, it'd be like that.
That's how I feel about almost every concert ever.
Really?
Yeah, I get there, I'm like, I could have just stayed home and listened to this album that was well produced.
Not had to sit in a freaking crowd and have
What?
annoying fucking people behind you. Or
I get
yeah,
mixed
I feel that.
messages.
Pay
Some people
$8
are
for a
like,
water.
concerts are amazing. Oh my God, I can't believe, because I've never been to a concert. I've never.
Really?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
there's some
never.
people that live for it, but I mean, I've been to more bad concerts than good concerts for sure.
I
my Maria
lived in a
lives for
good spot.
concerts.
Like I lived like growing up in Reno in the 90s. We had this little freaking bar that would like every big band would stop there and they would play for like $8 and you would get to meet them and everything. It was awesome. So it was always just like this intimate bar vibe, and then they would come out and like converse with the fans and everything, and before they left, and it was always just a little pit stop on their way.
I've been
It
to
was
like
great, but bigger
raves.
concerts suck.
I've been to huge ass motherfucking raves with hundreds of thousands of people, but never like a fucking concert. No.
It's similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I bet.
Yeah, because you know how certain raves will have different stages.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stages are bigger than others and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like that feel. Somewhere in between both those stages is every concert you're gonna go to.
Oh, okay. So it's a good
It's like
time.
there's big, huge ones, and then there's tiny little.
I like places where I can go and dance. Like I don't want to just stand and just watch a person like just sing, you know? Like I want to be entertaining myself as well. I just can't sit there. You know? You know?
This is another rando, and feel free to go back to whatever you want. But I feel like I've seen this everywhere again, and because we're on the loop, and the only person I know that knows anything about this, like some things I don't even read. I'm like, I'm just gonna ask the person that I know about this. So I'm like, Thomas, will you tell me about why the U.S. State Department shipped frozen penguin pineal glands from Argentina in 1973?
Please do.
So they were basically researching melatonin production, and because these penguins live in a place where they live in pure darkness for like months out of the year, right? And then it goes into having light during months of the year with no darkness. Because of those different extremes, they basically sampled a whole bunch of penguins that were living during just the light, and then they killed a bunch of penguins living during just the darkness, and they inspected their brains and their pineal glands in particular, and they did find that the ones during the night, I believe, had more melatonin production, and they eventually used that specific discovery from this frozen penguin pineal glands is where we get the little melatonin tablets that you take before you go to sleep so that you like sleep through the night, whatever. That is an indirect result of this research, because the one of the researchers doing this with the penguins, he was specifically trying to find a use for melatonin. I guess it wasn't as widely known, and it definitely wasn't commercially available in like the grocery store at that point.
Y'all who take melatonin are fucked up. You're killing a bunch of penguins. And I've been telling y'all, don't take that
they
to
don't
sleep.
they don't get it
It's
from
a
penguins anymore.
hormone, and when you take it, like you stop your own melatonin production. So it's not a good thing. That's like one of the few supplements I don't recommend for dreaming.
I've taken it during like a night out, like having fun with my friends, drinking and like dabbling in goodies, but only for like help to go to sleep because being so wired. But other than that, I would never consider taking that like ever unless
I'm
I
not
know I need to be up,
HTP
anti-melatonin.
though,
be up
I'm
in the
like
morning.
5-HTP is like great stuff. It like it
I'm not
actually
anti
increases the serotonin in your brain.
melatonin.
I
Look
am
at
just because like
everybody.
I want everybody
Do
to dream.
not take melatonin.
I'll take
And they
4 or
give it to
Do
5
their
not.
kids.
just to say I did. I don't care.
It's
I'm
wild
hearing
they're
it.
giving it to their children.
You guys were putting melatonin on the timeline. This was it wasn't anticipated, but too many people actually care. So it seems like it's, and so it is.
I care. That's the one thing that I never recommend for like supplements to sleep.
I don't know. I've done some pretty horrible things. Melatonin, I don't even think like ranks in the top 100.
I'm just
That's
like all
true.
about like, don't
I've
fuck with
just
your
like
endocrine
snorted
system if you
mystery
can, if
pills.
you can help it.
Have any of you snorted a mystery pill before?
Not a mystery pill, but
Smarties, remember doing that as a kid?
No.
I just mean
You
someone's
guys
like, "Hey,
didn't
I've
do
got
that?
this pill."
Snort a Smarties?
Oh, you
No.
never
Yes, we
had
would do
that?
that. We were
Oh,
like, so there, oh my gosh,
No,
that and Pixie Sticks.
I've
Yes.
snorted a Xanax once.
well, that's normal. That's
I mean,
actually a
yeah,
normal
I
thing.
snorted some cocaine in my
Yeah.
life, but
Yeah,
I didn't
Yeah.
snort fucking candy.
that's what I meant by goodies.
I
We
just learned
did.
this year that you don't have to snort fucking, what's the aspirin that everybody takes that just powder?
Oh, you
BC
put it in your
Oh
powder.
yeah.
mouth.
You just
Yeah,
put it
you
in
put it under
water.
your tongue.
So I haven't taken this forever. Everybody's like, Chaney, you should take some BC powder for your migraines. I'm like, I don't want to snort aspirin.
I
didn't.
had no
It
idea
just
anybody
dawned on
snorted
me.
that. What?
Dude,
I've never heard of that
because
either.
my little cokehead brain just was like, from my youth,
It's powder.
and
Oh,
that
it's
white
powder.
powder, yeah, it
Snort
must
it.
be, you have to snort it. And so it just stayed in that place forever. And
What
so
was the
it's like
Madonna movie
this
where
year's
she's
old.
like, "Oh, it's
It
not
probably
coke,
it
it's
works though,
my
right?
migraine medication that she was
I bet
snorting, or
it's
like
really
or
great.
aspirin."
I bet BC powder is the bomb for migraines.
Yeah, and snorting it. I wonder if that works.
That's what we used to take in college. We never snorted it, but
I've never heard of snorting it.
Dude, some things I'm brilliant about, and other things I know I'm the last in the class. I know I'm last in the line, and I'm okay to admit it now in my life. That I'm like, you guys, I just learned this. Like, you don't have to snort BC powder, and I haven't met a person that I've informed yet of this that was like, I never thought you did. Like, who told you?
I've
It was
never
probably
heard.
like a mean
Yeah.
thing my older sister told me.
okay, well now you have one. I literally never thought you had to snort it. We would just take it and put it on the end of a spoon because it tasted so bad. And you'd like throw it back with something else real quick.
That seems,
Um,
but goodies
sorry, mall
powder. Yeah.
mall 4202 or whatever 7202. Yes, 5-HTP is good, and I take it for dreaming. 200 milligrams if you want to like start lucid dreaming. Like for 2 weeks, you'll start waking up in your dreams,
Wow, they
and it
call it
helps you
goodies.
dream.
They call it goodies
She's like,
powder.
Goodies powder. Yeah.
I call cocaine goodies.
It's the same. BC powder is also goodies powder. It was just marketed by
Layla, you're
Goodies.
validating me.
Yeah, it's like. Anyway.
A little
I've never heard
thing.
of either of these.
You should keep your cocaine in a goodies pouch.
Yeah, you'll get away with it.
You have to have a good amount.
Hmm.
Sorry, I'm not telling everybody to put their cocaine in goodies pouch allegedly.
These are all migraine medications.
Yeah.
They're just like powder at the grocery. Ugh, I keep kicking my camera cord and it keeps freezing my camera. BRB again.
everybody just wants to be an avatar tonight.
Maria called it with the whole snowstorm and people shopping like crazy people just so they can sell out stock I gotta hand it to her. Good call on that. Good fucking call on that.
On what?
When she
Can you hear
called
me or
out,
is it messed up?
huh?
Am I coming
Megan?
in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
Go
hear
ahead,
you
I'm
now.
sorry.
I was talking about like Maria calling out like the whole psyop of the storm and how crazy. I mean, some places, yeah, it got hit, but not like they weren't making it. It didn't end up being what they were making it. And she called it like everyone wiped out the fucking grocery stores. And she
Think
called
about like
it.
the hit that big grocery likely took in November and December from the SNAP benefits being out. You know, that there was talk back then that this was going to bankrupt grocery stores for how much they rely upon the proceeds of those benefits. So then to imagine now we have this like life-threatening event from New Mexico to Connecticut, I think is what it spanned at one point, that drives you back to big grocery to like sell out all of the stock that they didn't sell out during that time. And so Chaney and I were talking, and I was asking, okay, if you remember the flood in Texas where those girls died at the camp, there was that guy, like blonde fucking redneck guy on TV being like, yeah, man, this county fucking hired me to seed the clouds, and I've been doing that for days. Like, I saw him in another video talking about, like, yes, we're doing that in Nevada and Colorado and Utah. So if that jackass can own his own corporation and manipulate the weather for profit, like, is there a a weather king that you have to like go and ask for permission to like mess with it? Like, are all of these corporations messing with the weather all of the time? And that's why like nothing makes sense. Like, is there some sort of hierarchy where you have to like go ask
I bet
some
you
lawyer?
it's more like it's probably more like a Uber. Like you get like a special invite to like a chemtrail Uber, and then you just sign up. You're like, hey, I got a plane. I can fit my plane.
You
Yeah,
get
like
on
sign me
paint
up.
and you start
Show
drawing. You're
me the
like, do
money.
this, please.
Yeah, you
like,
want to
can you
pay
fly
them?
this high? Because you got to be able to fly over the state because they own 500 feet. And it's like, oh yeah, I can fly. I can fly 30,000 feet. Oh, perfect. Then you can definitely fly a chemtrail plane.
But not just that, like, what if I own like Kroger and I'm like, you know what? These motherfuckers need to get back in my store because they need to sell this product. And so let's make a life-threatening event this weekend. Like, what do you say, guys? You know?
Well,
How do you?
also too, like all the food they weren't allowed to buy on Snap anymore was all the food they would force people with extra money that could stock up to buy, because that's all the food that lasts longer in the center of the grocery store. So like, oh darn, our soda stocks are down. People stocking up on shit might buy some soda. And it might not have to come from Snap. So it like evens out Coca-Cola a little bit. They're like, we might not sell Coke, but we'll sell out of Dasani.
But I think they were
It's
selling out of everything in Nashville, for example. Like one of my staff members went and bought
people are
some
so
sort of packaged product, like I think it was macaroni or something like that, and it had expired 3 weeks ago. Um, so it's just interesting to observe, like, who gets to mess with the weather, and do you have to ask permission, or are you just fucking messing with the ionosphere, like whenever the fuck you want, if you have the means?
Well, I mean, traditionally, you go back long enough, the only people that were allowed to mess with the weather would have been like your shaman or your priest class, right? So now I almost feel that the modern version of that, whoever takes charge of controlling the weather now, they're kind of like retrofittingly declaring themselves like a high priest or a shaman because look, we're doing the thing that tens of thousands of years ago that all of those high priests and those shamans claim that this was, because that was truly the one thing that people would live or die on, is whether or not your shaman could attract the weather or repel it depending on what situation you were in.
What if it's the World Health Organization who calls
It could
those
be them
shots?
too.
Making which
Because, I mean, it only makes sense if they're testing and, it's a World Health Organization and they have the power to say, oh, it's a pandemic. We need to shut the fucking world down. it kind of makes sense to me that, especially watching Begonia, like these people who are in this bioengineering and DNA hacking and this bio world, I feel like those people have like a higher say in things, because if you don't fucking do what they say, they could release something if they wanted to in a heartbeat. So I kind of feel like they kind of control what
I
goes
think you
on.
can't take weather witching out of it altogether. Like if you see all the
That's what
CW shows and all they're letting us know like witches control the weather. Like Thomas is saying, all the old medicine men or medicine woman, they can control the weather. They bring the storms. So I think that it would be like all things, science versus sorcery. Always, always is the answer. And so I think that they can't let this little secret coven, who we don't know who their bloodlines are, just go around creating the storms. But then it also unintentional magic where if we just if we put a cold front over Florida for enough days because they have a bunch of silly New Yorkers down there, will they manifest cold weather and give them lizard fainting, snow in Miami, spell Hulk Hogan died the same year weather?
And what I said before they didn't hear, I said, or maybe it was a Jamaican witch, you know?
You're kind of breaking up a little, Abbie. But I
Oh,
heard Jamaican
damn
witch and
it.
I knew what you meant. You might have to go out and come back in unless you're just in and out.
How do you collect loosh? You know, like what siphons the loosh? Where does it go? Like to whom is it proffered? You know, can you put it into currency in some way? Is it like ingestible? Does it just like surround you? I don't know. I want to know how that works.
I wonder that all the time.
Storm. You know, because as you were saying with the weather witching, like part of it is the manifestation of the hive mind. Like it was creating the storm if you believed in it.
That's what I think sometimes. People in their hurricanes, or I say all the time, like my mom and her little Christian weather witching, where it doesn't matter if she has her little holy water, and my mom's always forever going on vacation. And I'll be like, Mom, there is a category 5 hurricane. You cannot go on this trip. And she's like, I already anointed my house. It's fine. I'm going on my cruise. Like if my mom anoints it, like it's so rare. And I would say over any weather vane or anything, my mom's 100% with the hurricanes. Like if every once in a while, she's like, I'm not going to leave town. I'm going to board up. And I'm like, oh shit, it's about to get real. Like every once in a while. So I don't know. I think there is definitely something. There's even a bunch of like Tias, like Catholic, that will, at like a baby shower, they'll draw a cross and toward the bottom of the road, so that property is protected from rain. And it's like there's like this little bit of mysticism mixed with religion, like Santeria.
Yeah. Like back home, I know they put like teddy bears in the front of their doors to absorb negative energy. I guess they put something in the teddy bears, but like right on the top of their doors. People who are like hold that pagan tradition, they put like a stuffed animal in their front door
Well,
for some reason.
even in the Pennsylvania Dutch, like they put these hexen symbols on their doorways, and they're literally freaking magic.
Well,
They're
that's
just
are
they're
they
called
writing
hexen
sigils
symbols.
in the
They're
sky?
sigils.
Like not just with
Yeah.
the chemicals with chemtrails, are they putting sigils above your head that are also bringing in energy that it might not just be the weather? Like, you know how Prince did that
The
whole interview
frequency,
where he's
yeah.
like, they spray shit in the sky and now we're all fighting with each other? And there is some energy about that there that is like, oh, could they just be like spraying up Minnesota and everyone's just pissed?
I feel like people were fighting before chemtrails too.
I know. Did it seem as mad? Because
Probably.
I've been to crowd situations where it could just be the energy of the crowd, but I've also felt situations where like I feel like they just sprayed us with rage, or I feel like they just sprayed us with like giggle sauce, or where it's like the whole collectively a group of people get a feeling of like, or people just like, hi, we're at a Taylor Swift concert. 20 of us passed out in the same row. Like weird. But
Someone
It wasn't
accidentally
even that
dialed the thing up too much.
Isn't that part of the DARPA technology? The what was it called again?
and it
Sound.
wasn't even that they were passing out at the Taylor Swift concert. They were coming out of it and they were saying they had no recollection of it. But for the pictures and video on their phone, they would have told you that they didn't go. Obviously, people are passing out and shit like that. But
yeah, they were like
that
having
was
full
so
amnesia.
profound. And they were wearing diapers and shitting on themselves, like the New Year's Eve participants, so as to
Wild.
not miss a moment of the Maenad of Dionysus do her thing.
There wasn't even a lot of people there apparently for New Year's.
Oh yeah. I'm just talking about all her concerts, but like comparing that, like those people on the front row theoretically are all wearing diapers or.
That's true.
I like to think that they get into like pecking order arguments over like who's pooped in their diaper more because it proves that they're a bigger fan than the people that haven't.
Or they like have a better diaper, like, oh man, I had one last year, but I think I really found the best one this year.
Mine's a Lululemon, so just.
I have some extras in my bag if you guys want to go fucking shit on yourself as well.
There wouldn't be ever a show. There wouldn't be a show that I would wear a diaper instead of going to shit if I needed to.
Gigi Allen.
I already told you all once I shit myself, I'm like,
Electric Light
I'm done.
Orchestra.
I'm gonna be taking like pills to go to sleep forever. And I don't mean like just shitting myself on accident. I mean old age. I'm not doing that. So yeah, I wouldn't do that for a concert either.
Not a pod. You wouldn't go into one of the Canadian pods.
What's a
You mean
Canadian
like
pod?
the suicide thing?
Yeah, the little Canadian pods that like.
If I'm like shitting myself on the regular and have to wear diapers all the time, and yes, I would definitely do that.
Be a pod person.
Well, you're not going to shit yourself all the time. You don't shit that much now. Like, there's only so much shit in a day.
That's true.
Like,
Unless you got the runs.
If you shit yourself every day, that would be horrible.
If it gets that
There's no way
bad,
to live.
you just start eating MREs every day. Done. Problem
I
solved.
think you would shit yourself even more.
Exactly.
You get locked eventually from an MRE. They lock you right up. That's what I was wondering, though. Even you guys got your ice storm. I was thinking, oh, that's horrible for you guys. But it was almost equivalent to Florida getting a hurricane. We're pretty prepared for it. But when I watch hurricanes go up into South Carolina or North Carolina when they get deep, my heart changes because I know they're not prepared like we are. Their power lines, their houses, their everything. It's like that, not their weather. That's how I feel about this cold snap coming in this weekend to Florida. Like 20 degrees and snow. Like we have a lot of wildlife. I mean, our wildlife is hardier than people think. Like a gator will just freeze and be like, I guess I'm just like a gator will freeze for an ice age. And then like 200 years later, it's like a gator again.
But everyone's tropical plants they've imported from all over the world are all going to be dead.
They're like, cover your plants. And there was a time we were like the leader of citrus, but China came and I think war looks different. And so if we still did have citrus, or probably like we have a lot of tomatoes, I think we have a lot more agriculture in the country than people would assume. A lot of it's not going to be good because we have 3 growing seasons.
There's lots of
Didn't
cats
that like El Nino was like the first year that really ruined the Florida oranges, wasn't it? Or one of the first on record that I know of.
I would put
I
El
just remember
Nino and
learning
El
about it.
Nina up there with fucking chemtrails and global warming.
Yeah,
I would put all of them in the
absolutely.
same
That's
kind of
such a psyop.
bullshit.
Totally.
El Niño, La Niña.
That was bullshit. They still do that shit. El Nino. What's going on, Layla? What are you reading, Layla?
Oh no, I just saw a random person quote the Bible. I'm like, oh, just reading it.
Do you want me to pull it up?
Oh no, it doesn't matter. I randomly read comments.
Okay.
Chaney, I need to point this out to you because it was during a period of time my mic wasn't working. I can't remember.
It's not working again.
Okay.
No, come back. Leave and come back and then tell us.
It's like staticky.
We'll stick a pin. We stick a pin and we'll hold it. We'll stick a pin and then hold it and talk about it.
It's nice to have her on.
See, that's what, because it's snowy, one of the benefits of an ice storm.
Get the podcast.
Yeah. She's like awake and hanging out. I get like that with certain weather. Like if there's a hurricane coming, I don't sleep for like 2 days.
I feel that.
Testing.
I think I'm going to have to bow out. I think the connection's just not going to work.
Yeah, it's a little bubbly. Boo.
Yeah.
What did you want to say? One parting word or anything?
Somebody said Catherine O'Hara is 88, and I just had to point that out to you so we can talk about it later.
She's 71, I think.
No, it was like the gematria or something like that. Was
Oh,
88.
okay. Sorry, everyone. We want to hang too, but she has bad reception because of, weather wars. So blame your government for that, like always. Well, you hang out as long as you want. Anyway, so we talked about the fucking Catherine O'Hara, which does kind of make me sad. Kobe Bryant did happen on January 26th, which was weird because I think we just randomly talked about that, but it was actually this week. We kind of flew through a lot of topics.
Gold, 5,500 a fucking ounce. They stopped
And
even
silver is kinda
accepting
crazy.
gold because the refineries it's just like demand of like selling is just too high. They stopped even like taking gold in. And there's talks of like people holding on to silver even though it went up. Don't sell it because it's going to go higher and higher. But this is like a dangerous time because this is eventually going to have the old system kind of collapses, kind of what they kind of want to do. So it's an interesting time.
Oh, that's interesting. Catherine O'Hara being an 88 means they're manipulating the timeline again.
That makes
that's a
sense.
good theory. Yeah. In gematria. And I think that's also interesting because in the whole spirit science of it all, like they said the Hebrews were the time travelers in their Merkabahs. Which it's just funny that in gematria, because isn't it like in Strong's Concordance, it would be like Jews having their secret code to get to certain places in time. Hebrews.
There's this interesting like rabbi who does this whole coding of the Torah in numbers with gematria, and certain words pop out through his weird computer system that he has that's specifically made for the Torah, which can predict certain timelines that are about to happen. And he has each video labeled as something. And sometimes you can't understand it because he won't translate certain videos, and some videos are purposely translated, which is fascinating. I feel like when they do things like that and grid certain verses in Torah, I feel like they can manipulate a timeline in a sense through grid magic.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's even came up because I've been working on an update to this gematria tool that I've been working on for like a couple of years now. But like I spent some time making a new version, trying to make it more approachable, I guess, to people that aren't as familiar with gematria. So you can go to this right now. It's at beta.occultdecode.com. But like, for example, you can click on one of these suggested. So Wizard of Oz, here's a suggestion, right? So click on Wizard of Oz and it'll show you all the different ciphers. And a cipher is just different ways of encoding letters with different numbers. So each cipher, A is usually a different number, or B is a different number, Z is a different number. So it's got all these popular ones. You can also search for words that match in all these different ciphers. So I can go here and I can look at like trending ones. So for example, Wizard of Oz, I guess matches with Chaos Twins. That's kind of funny. I am that I am. You are amazing with just an N and no G. Like these are all matches in the same ciphers. So like the Wizard of Oz and ordinal is 175, and I am that I am is also 175 in reverse ordinal. So it's supposed to kind of like mean something. But I've been doing other stuff too, like making weird connections instead of Bible and Torah connections. I've been doing like movies. So you can go to a movie and like here's Snow White, but if I can go and I can click on say like Fight Club, and then it'll give you the different gematria values for all the different actors in a movie, like the name of the movie, the actors' names,
Dope.
plot, their lifespan, so you can see who's died in this movie. So Meatloaf died, right? So I can go and check out his lifespan and see like the midpoint in his life and how it compares
His name
to, like,
was
other
Robert
movies.
Paulson.
It's the coolest tool for like absolute schizos that want to put together
Look how crazy that
weird
was, though.
connections.
73. Did you see the numbers at the top of that page?
Which one? This
And
one?
it was just random when you were on Meatloaf. I think that was the last page that you were on. Whatever the last page you were on, it was like the top of the page was like, I don't like 3777 or something. It
Or
was like perfect.
7333.
Yeah, 73333.
That's what it sound. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, like whatever your ordinal was of whatever you were
Mhm.
looking at was like a perfect thing, and I don't even know a ton about gematria. But so is this the same as most of those? It's just you need more people to use it to keep adding things to it.
Yeah, well, I think what the value is now, because this is better than any of the other options out there. Just more people are used to the other ones, so they know about the other ones. But the value in this one is that other ones won't actually let you see which ones match. And once you get a bunch of searches in here, let's say I wanted to see out of all the Wizard of Oz matches, what if I wanted something that had like the word devil in it or something? So I can just type devil, and now I can see like be deviled, deal with the devil, devil mark, and there's no other ones that do this. And what happens is that anytime someone searches, it'll kind of like log that someone searched for this phrase, so then you can kind of see the phrases that are the most popular rise to the top, and all the misspellings and all of like the dumb stuff that people enter, it'll kind of just like sink to the bottom. So at a certain point it'll start to refine itself, and none of the other websites do anything close to this.
And misspellings matter. And I know people that they have to use a different website for their reduction and their ordinal. And I'm like, I know enough to talk about a layman about gematria, but with people that really know it, I bow out of that
Well, here,
conversation.
let me show you one of the examples. So like Gematrinator is probably the most popular one that most people use. And this is the entire reason that I even started on my own version of this, is because I was just doing like random tests. And watch, if I do 2, right, everything's gonna equal 2. If I do 22, everything equals 22. If I do, and so on. But watch, as soon as I put 4 numbers in a row, all of a sudden now what it's doing is it's going to like add all those 2s up individually. But this gets a little bit dicey, because if I wanted to put in like 2001 as a number, look, like this one, it's still adding them all up, but it looks like it's a reduction. This is wrong. This is just like not how gematria is supposed to work. There's not a magic rule that says once you get over 3 digits, you stop counting it as a number and you start adding them together as if they were characters. So this one little flaw was like, well, that seems kind of crazy that so many people use this site and it has this blatant, incorrection in it, which means a lot of the results are incorrect. So it just started as, well, let me just make sure that if I put in 2222, it won't reduce down to 8, and I'd have to select a whole bunch of different ciphers to see if there's actually any matches to this one. But that's where it kind of started. It started on that everyone's using these ones that are broken. Look at all these matches that site would never be able to pick up. They're never going to have a Jewish Messiah because their math doesn't allow their number to go beyond 999.
Why haven't you promoted this yet?
I mean, I've literally finished it like last weekend, and even as
Oh,
we've been talking tonight, I've been like adding little features and like improving it as we've been talking.
dope, dude. This is really dope.
So right now it's beta.occultdecode.com. If this is your thing, you can go and check it out. There's a million features on here. I've got like a little thing where you can add your favorite numbers. So if your favorite number ever shows up on a search, it'll give you like a little alert about it. I'll show you off a couple other cool things too. I got like a little Matrix theme. We got like a cool little Starfield theme. There's just like a whole bunch of cool little here's my favorite numbers in here. So anytime something comes up, it'll show you. So there you go. Since gematria came up and we were talking about the calculation, how's it all work? A perfect time to do a quick little pitch.
Huh. How the universe works, huh? Nothing is a coincidence.
No, I'm doing this too. Let's see if it works. Is that right? Is that spelled right? beta.occultdecode.com.
Yeah.
Go test out Thomas's gematria site.
I like that.
Boom. Now I don't have to think about it again because I will only be able to spell it correctly once. It's not my front room. It's not my foyer. It's not my forte. JK. What else happened in the world this week, you guys? I feel like it was so crazy.
A lot of Erica Kirk shit. They were apparently released, I don't know how many Epstein files recently.
3 million today, I think.
Something, yeah. What else? I don't know. Trying to think.
Is it like riots or something going on
Yeah,
somewhere?
that
Oh.
bullshit. Pretty good.
Don't you think that's kind of weird that all I kept thinking the whole time is, when Larry David's like, pretty, pretty, pretty good. Like, it's just in the simulation of it all, pretty good is pretty crazy. It's just a coincidence, but
All of it.
Yeah. I was going to pull up the Department of Justice. I am not a robot.
I'm a little interested in people's reactions because there's some people that are like pro Trump that they're like, yeah, screw it, like ICE should be allowed to just murder people. But then there's also people that are like, if you consider that an unjust killing, then you're just a snowflake. And it's funny to just see that dynamic because I think like deep down it definitely looks like just blatant government overreach, but if you're afraid to say it, or if you do say it, you kind of get kicked out of the club a little bit.
Well, to me, it's like, if I understand you want to protest, there's one thing to protest and there's one thing for interfering in like what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? So then when you start making it like a confrontation and start getting at each other and going, it's I'm not saying it's justifiable to kill people, but like, you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't bring your kids there. You shouldn't be protesting that way. I know you want your voices heard, but there's different ways to go about it. You guys are stirring up a war, which is not necessary. And by doing that, you will have casualties by inciting violence. Like, it just doesn't work that way. It would never happen. None of this would ever happen if you all let them do their jobs and let them go through the process. If something's wrong, I'm pretty sure they'll have family who'll fight for them if they belong here, whatever. If they don't belong here, I mean, it's the law. You go to any fucking country, if you don't fucking belong there, guess what? You have no say. You're out of there. No one's going to protest for you. No one's going to burn down their cities for you. Point blank, period. And that's what I got to say about that.
Do you think a lot of Americans we haven't
I'm
traveled
an immigrant.
enough?
Huh?
Do you think a lot of Americans haven't traveled enough?
Yeah.
Like they don't know what it's like overseas in certain places? Like, just as an American in other places, like you
It's
don't just
like,
get to...
They hate America, but they're screaming and fighting and burning down cities for people to stay in the country that they fucking hate and say is the worst country in the world to be in, but they want and argue so hard for these people to be here. And it's just like,
They should swap. They should start a
what?
program where like they kidnap a protester and then they send the protester back to Guatemala or back to
Somalia.
Yeah.
Or back
And
to
see
like,
how you like it.
isn't a horrible, like a swap student program.
I don't
Like,
get
do you
it.
want to give up your citizenship for somebody else to skip the line?
And I don't
Yeah.
mean just like throw them out there to the wolves and never hear back from 'em. I mean like they should probably tag them or something, like tag them like a little thing on their ear so they can track them back down in 6 months and bring them back here and then see if the attitude has changed.
Yeah, and on that note, also, we don't care if immigrants come here. Do it the right way, man. Or if you come here, try and get your fucking papers, seek asylum, something. You're not even doing that. And then you expect all these freebies while American citizens, I'm one of them, I can't even fucking get health care. Are you kidding me? And you expect to have that before me? Like, fuck out of here. With all due respect, like, suck a fat one. I'm so sick of it. I'm an immigrant, but due process.
Yeah.
Due process.
You are an immigrant.
Okay, I am. But now I'm an American citizen. Proud to be one too.
It's only because you could afford that Trump gold card.
Oh my God. I feel bad for people. Holy moly.
I do actually think that it is whatever way for all Americans, like whatever their like tag that they want to take of their voting box thing of Republican or Democrat, that they're learning about their 2A and their like 1A. I think this is a good thing. I think I think there are a lot of places, even if you're allowed to carry, that you're not allowed to carry. Like there's a lot of places you're not allowed to carry your gun. And
Yeah.
then there's different types of guns you can carry in different situations. And then I'm sure it's different on states, but most gun owners that I know are so responsible. They know how to travel to what state. They already looked at it's like gun owners, dare I say, know more about the laws of their guns than potheads know about the laws of their weed. And that is
Yeah.
a lot, y'all. That is a lot. Like potheads
Yeah,
know
it's true.
exactly where they can smoke. They know exactly what country they can go to. They're like, so
You got to know which guns you can't bring in the certain states, like certain magazine sizes you can't bring into California. There's certain types of not short-barreled rifles, but like pistol grade rifles that have to have these stupid little fan things in California, but you can't have a regular stock there, but you can if you go like a state over. And if you don't keep track of this kind of thing, you could definitely get hemmed up.
It's wild. And it's funny to see the loosh with all these. Maybe the protests are real. Who knows? Maybe some people are really that fucking like dumb to not see the pattern with every fucking president and all the deportations. We can do the math for all of them. This is nothing new, but y'all still fall for it. And it's like comical at this point.
but
It's like,
also that's the whole everybody, every single person has fallen for some part of the psyop. However deep they've fallen has been on them, every single person. And then this is the funny part, how much of the LARP you take part in for free, that only a couple agents need to steal an entire basketball game. Only a couple agents need to put on a whole entire false flag. It's not everybody involved. So that's the funny part is like typically people are sheeps. Typically, if enough people run in one direction, you'll just take off with them. Like typically, if you get in an elevator and everybody's turned the opposite direction, you'll sit backward too in the elevator. It's just like people are sheeps. They want to be guided by someone. They're like, please, somebody be a lion. People want to follow. It's
Yeah.
just the downfall of people, I think. A majority of people, they actually are like quota, and I don't like good, bad, whatever, but they're good people. A majority of people are good people. and they don't think of all these awful, horrible, crazy things to do. So they assume nobody else has ever thought of those things either. And so that's the problem. It's just like a few steely people that sit and they're just like, oh, you know
Oh,
what we
this seems
should
like a
do?
good idea.
We should chemical them out of planes. And they're like, who's ever thought of that? That's crazy. Not all these good people, I'll tell you that. So I just feel like it only takes like one bad, like that's why it's like you need a sheepdog sometimes to keep wolf out of the pen, because unfortunately where everybody's like, oh, full disclosure, these people still, with everything we know, still are like, are you guys getting your flu vaccine this year?
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh my gosh, you guys, I got to go to the vet tomorrow and give my dog all this chemicals and stuff every year. And it's like, so it doesn't, there's still like a level of, they just don't get it.
They don't.
All of the
Oh, my
normal
cat has
people,
seizures.
aside from like a few different immediate family, everyone else I know, like outside of us, right, or like Juan or any other conspiracy people that like I talk to on the average, but all the normies are exactly like that. They're still going and they're getting all their flu shots and all of their everythings as if like nothing ever happened.
Or they're like, there's a sale on these pans. And you're like, well, they're Teflon. I've been cooking on these for 40 years. Here we go. Like, I don't just. And when I look at my own battles that I had in life with everything I tried to do right, like everything I try to eat right, I'm going to have my own chickens. I'm not even going to get my chickens from this store. Like, I did everything right and still like cancer. So I don't even try to tell people. I'm like, you guys have never drank a Mountain Dew in my life. And then I'm like, that literally means nothing. Drink Mountain Dew. Maybe I should have drank more Mountain Dew.
There's people getting lung cancer and they've never been a smoker in their fucking life. And it's just like, how the fuck did they get lung cancer? Like, what?
And I remember
And the
growing
people
up, my best friend's grandpa would come over, and he lived until he was like 107, and he smoked 2 packs of cigarettes from the time he was like
Yeah.
9 years old until he was like 107 years old, and he
My-
never got cancer, and he never got emphysema, like none of the things.
Yeah.
And that always stood out to me, and I realized that it's just like one person, and that can't make the case, but the way that they taught us in school and the way that it all was like taught to us was that if you smoke 2 packs a day, like you will get cancer and die. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen.
No, back home in Albania, all the old people, they're smoking 4 packs a day. They're 80, 90 years old. My cousin in Texas, he was like 80 something years old, no cancer. He died from something so, I don't know, some big just a heart attack. Like it just got him, you know? But he was strong as fuck. Like all of them, and if you take that away from them, they'll die because you took the cigarettes away from them. Like
Or
they'll die because you
fight
took
each
it
other
away.
and kill and die over it.
I swear.
Cigarettes are top tier to me. Like one of the things, if we were really going to bring back everything that made America great again, cigarettes. Like I don't smoke regular cigarettes, but I would again. And I think nicotine is good for the brain. I think it kills nanotechnology. I think there's a lot of shit that nicotine and cigarettes will be proven in the long haul to have been the Lee Harvey Oswald of cancer. Like I think cigarettes are the Jack Ruby of things, and they're just like one little small part. Like they started wrapping shit in them later, but I think they were like, you know what? Let's take a little lavender and let's take a little hemp and let's take a little tobacco, and they would make spleefs. And this was like powerful healing medicine. So
I think they did to cigarettes and tobacco the same kind of thing they did with like fruit. Like there was a time when you could just get fruit when it wasn't soaked in preservatives and like added with sugar and fertilizer and pesticide. Like there was a version of it before all of that you can't really get to anymore. And I think it was the exact same thing with tobacco. The tobacco probably had a very legitimate use, and it probably was completely different than whatever version of it that we've got today is like all we know about.
For sure. Like they used to ingest it. Like snuff was big. Like just ingesting it through the nose. Like it was like they carried it with them wherever they went. It wasn't cocaine, but it definitely did something.
Didn't they put it inside wounds? like tobacco
I think
leaves
so,
and
yeah.
shit?
Yeah.
I felt like it was old healing.
Yes.
Somebody smart in our chat will probably know that, but I felt like they would even wrap wounds in it, put tobacco leaves around pregnant ladies' bellies.
Yeah, my mom used to grow tobacco when she lived back in Europe. They had like a tobacco farm. She used to harvest it, dry it out. She said it was great for so many things, and she started smoking really young, like
That's what the
12.
South, they say, like the South's big thing is it wasn't just cotton, it was cotton, hemp, and tobacco. And if you think how important those crops in a natural world that, you know, everybody talks about, or mysticism, or it just seems like, curious. Yeah, I know they used cancer. And now there's a guy that came out this week with like Phantom of the Opera face, and he's like cured pancreatic cancer. And I just feel like a cure for cancer. I'm like, they always have had it. Nobody. It's just like somebody's allowed to say it because the internet now. It's like, oh, that doctor died on a weird plane crash this week, and it'll be like, what doctor? Remember the doctor that said the cancer thing? Like some rapper will rap about him and get killed.
So annoying.
It'll be like Dr. CB.
Like in the late 90s, if you were a microbiologist, there was like a high chance that you were going to die. Like they had like 5 microbiologists drove off cliffs, 11 died in plane crashes. Like all this happened within a few years, and it was right during the anthrax scares that were happening.
Maybe it's a little bit trashy in my head, but didn't cigarette smokers look cool? Like I always thought cigarette smokers like anywhere I saw them, I always like it was a vibe. Like you could tell when somebody was like a regular smoker and somebody was just picking. Like smokers will judge somebody in a TV show or a movie and be like, "That bitch don't smoke."
But also,
I still do.
You still
like
do?
I still call it out.
You're like, they don't really smoke, and then you can tell people that you're like, they're loving that cigarette. Like Johnny Depp, you can tell he's like, my character better smoke.
I think it made even more sense in school, like before you're old enough to smoke, because it really did show like who's willing to break the law and who isn't.
I haven't heard about this. Nicotine patches are being used for long COVID or something. I don't know. People look into it, but I will say nicotine patches, if you put them on right before you go to bed, you guys know I'm not a dreamer, but I can lucid dream. If I put a nicotine patch on before I go to bed, I'm in there like I've done it a million times. I'm like, game on, Ready Player One. So
I've heard some. Go ahead.
Well, apparently they're taking these patches and they're cutting them up into like six or fours, and they're putting it on. And apparently it's killing the biotech. And it's also used for something else, something with the gut. But many people are getting on it. And I think I want to low key get on it. It's like a NAC thing, you know, NAC.
I've heard of people biohacking with nicotine patches, where if they're trying to train themselves to do a new habit, that before, like especially if it's like a 2-hour, like one of the examples was someone was trying to run more or go to the gym more, so they would put a nicotine patch on and go and run for an hour or go to the gym for an hour, and then it was training their body to like associate the activity with the rush from the nicotine, and then at a certain point their body would like motivate them to go and do the thing because it thought it was going to get this like reward at the end of it. And then you can slowly wean yourself or keep doing it, either or, keep doing the patches.
I love this idea.
Yeah. And I was like shunned for like, why are you smoking before going to the gym? But it's like, I needed that nicotine. But then I was like, maybe I shouldn't because I'm going to lose my breath and like all of that just smoking. And it was just
if
like,
you
I
did
don't
it
wanna
after, if you started to do it afterward, where you didn't smoke at all before the gym, but you only smoked after, then your body would start being like, bitch, we're getting to the gym. We're going to finish this workout hard because I want that cigarette.
I used to love smoking before the gym. Not tobacco, but
getting high a little bit.
Yeah,
a lot of
love
MMA
not
fighters.
a little bit, like a lot of it.
Yeah, same.
A lot of MMA fighters smoke weed, and they say it's good for healing too.
Yeah, it puts you in a
healing,
flow
whatever.
state.
It's a good way to like let your brain just turn off.
It does
Yeah.
lower your heart rate. I think naturally too. I think you sit in a lower heart rate when you're stoned all the time.
I have a better workout when I smoke. Like I'm more focused, more in the workout, not like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm done. No, I'm more serious.
I'll get high before the doctor's office sometimes. Like this is back when I was doing shit every day at the doctor's. I'd get baked out of my head. And then they'd always say, "Were you an athlete when you were younger?" Like they could never quantify my chill ass heart rate. And then afterward, because I'd be so baked, afterward I'm like, "Oh, I bet it's because I did the dabs before I went to the doctor." But it's like, I had to sit in like a chemo chair for 8 hours and they were always taking my heart rate for everything, taking my heart rate. But anyway, I was like, dang, it's probably good for people that have a really rapid heart rate or they're worried about people. Like, maybe just smoke a little more.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to dab in the morning. Keep
I
that
guess
ticker
find
good.
find a type of weed that works for you because, like for instance, my sister has been on and off with weed since she was maybe like 20, 19, something like that.
Doesn't work
But
for some people.
yeah, and it's just hard for her to like get where I'm at, where I could just fucking smoke and smoke and smoke and and I'm good, Her,
I don't
no,
want. I
she'll.
don't want to. This is not medical advice or anything. YouTube, but I do feel like you got to start early. You got to start when you're like 12 or 13, just so that by the time you're like 20s,
Yeah,
30s, you kind of know how to handle it.
I'm a
yeah.
late pothead. I'm late. I was a little goody, and I even at one point in life, I remember two of like my girlfriends, and we drove cross country for like 6 months, and sometimes they would just stop at rest stops and like smoke a joint with complete strangers at a rest stop, and I could not fathom this. Like, what? We could just get taken in the middle of these rest areas. Like, we're in the middle of the country. And now, so many years later, as a pothead, like, potheads aren't going around stealing nobody.
No,
You're
they're
fine. You
not.
can smoke with them.
We're just
Like,
chilling.
it's just, unless you're in it, you don't know. But I was a late pothead. I did all the things I was supposed to do.
I
And
was 16.
by the time I was in Los Angeles, that's when I was like, okay, I'm a pothead. But I felt so much gratitude that I had grown up in a Miami cocaine era that I didn't really have interest of doing cocaine in LA because I tried it once or twice or a few times and I was like, this is not good. This is a completely different drug than Miami cocaine. I don't want that. And so I just became a big pothead because I'm so chatty and I'm an insomniac. Cokeheads were easy friends. They're chatty too and they stay up all night.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I
I was
ended up having
16.
Coke in my glove box all the time for my Cokehead friends because at some point they'd be like, I need to find Coke. I need to find Coke. And then I felt like, here goes the
Here
night.
you go.
We're going to be driving all over LA, meeting
hate
up with
that.
crazy people. So I'd be like, look, bitch, if I could come up with a 20 bag for you right now, would you promise that you would just do it sparingly for the rest of the evening and we could have a good time? Oh,
What a
bitch,
great
if you knew
friend.
someone.
That's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I would give you 5 stars on Uber, easy.
Well, here was the other thing too that I realized really quickly. If you ever hooked up somebody with Coke, they didn't only remember it forever. There was no repaying you an amount of weed for that. Like they were just like every time they saw Chaney, you want a joint? Chaney, you want a joint? Because I didn't do the Coke. I would have been the best Coke dealer because I didn't want any Coke. I'm already that. Like speed is already my natural personality. I need to calm down a little bit. I need to calm it down. So, anyways, yeah. Los Angeles. I was grateful to be a little Florida girl that actually knew what good cocaine was. So LA Coke was never. I didn't want baby laxatives. Seemed gross.
Mm.
Get a little niacin.
I didn't know what was going on.
Not the shit I got from New York. He was an OG. I don't want to say his name,
Well,
but
New York
everybody.
is Florida. There's like just a pipeline
Yeah.
from New York to Florida. That's it.
He had his stash, and his stash was, fresh brick open. He was the OG in the town in Washington Heights in New York City. And those of you who know what Washington Heights is, each block is its own type of drug category that you can just buy: weed, coke, this, that, whatever you want. There's different corners for different type, okay? But he was known in that area. Like nobody fucks with him. He was the guys in South America where they dress in all white, the Bruja priests, whatever, that call on the devil and like talk to the spirits and shit. He was that murders and all that ritualistic shit. Anyway, opens up his brick, beautiful, iridescent, like crystally. I don't know how to explain. Not crystally. It was like Parmesan cheese. Put it like that. Like when you chop it off and it just like shatters like that. But the only way that you could like literally, that's how pure it was, through a sifter. You take a sifter, put the stuff in there, press it in there. It was like butter. Like butter.
I
It
like
was
how
like
in detail, like Layla's fucking
it
going
was
back all to a
so
bender.
oh my
He's gonna relapse
God.
tonight.
Oh lordy lord.
Yeah,
Oh, I
she's
still
like,
dream about it.
yeah, it's gonna snow tonight.
Dude.
Yeah, it is gonna snow in Florida tonight, bitch.
I'm telling you, 1 gram would last you, because if you're not like a person who does it all the time, 1 gram of that will last you a good week. You just take,
Oh God, not at my
If-
height. That would
yeah.
have been like 2
Oh
hours,
no, man, this
four
was
hours
like
maybe.
pure. This was his stash, not the stash that he sold.
I don't care
Like
how
it was,
pure. I'm just
it's
saying, like it's a challenge.
it was so good.
I had a Cuban best girlfriend and she was too much trouble. And I just felt like this bitch always had Coke, like to the point of like, no, I don't want to do Coke. It's Tuesday. Like, it just felt like, no, the way some potheads are with like, you want to hit this, you want to hit this, you want to hit, like, I'm good. I
Mhm.
felt like this bitch was with her Coke all the time.
Really?
She was just
I
like this
can't. I
Cuban. I
can't be
almost
like that.
outed her. I almost said her whole name in a whole thing.
I had to cut being
I don't
with
wanna
friends
out
with
her.
one of my friends because it was like it became really bad. Where every day it was like an 8 ball.
I wouldn't be sad though if they put Coke in Coca-Cola, and I could
Yeah, I wouldn't be sad about
occasionally
that either.
like. I think Coke in a Coca-Cola would be way healthier for you than a Monster.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, yeah, I would agree.
I think that out of all the drugs, that one might legitimately have one of the more obvious uses, like just to have it out at CVS. You can just go buy it at CVS, and you don't have to ever go into do any crime or talk to any criminals in order to get a hold of it. You could just get it like it was no dose. I really legitimately, of all the ones available, that one I think, because most of the horrible stories you hear about it, they're just related to how much money you're dealing with when someone steals it, loses it, gets it, can't get it. You know what I mean? But if you remove all of that friction, I don't think it's the same as like PCP, where someone might legitimately think everyone's out to kill them and like start. Of course, there's some of that would happen,
Well, it's
but
like
I think
mini
they can use
thins,
it.
ephedrine. Look how
I
many
gotta
fucking
say
speeds
something.
they've put on the market for us as we've grown up. What?
There's different ways how people do it. Like to the extreme where you're like geeked the fuck out and you look disgusting, like when people say, oh, it's such a dirty drug. No, it depends on how you do it. There's the way that normal people should do it, like you drink
Not-
and it gets to a point where you start getting the spins and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. You do a boop quick and then you're back to normal. Not, and your jaw starts to lock and you look like a fucking psychopath. That's when I'm just like, okay, now it looks fucking gross. But
You don't
if
gotta go
you're,
third right all the way.
yeah, like there's
No, I'm just.
there's level of retard and then there's like, okay, this is the way to do it, nice and classy.
I'm not into it. I feel like the list of drugs that I would do at my age now have gotten so small.
No.
Like it's such a tiny, like Coke isn't probably on the
And
list.
inevitably now, if it's ever something that's more than like a 2-hour commitment to like not be completely on my game, the second that I try to do something out of the ordinary, like a pipe bursts and like someone's knocking on my door or like something, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna
Yeah.
pave my street that day. Like, we need you to move your car, sir. And it's just
And
like
you're like, oh my
the
gosh, I did
worst.
mushrooms for the first time in 3 years.
Well, I guess about that, I guess people, or not just me, but many people who don't have that addictive personality can dabble and just like when they're out, do whatever they do, and then they won't touch it for like months on end because they don't feel the need to. It's just like hey, I need to release some steam. Let me go party and blah, blah, blah. And then you get to a level and it's like, if it's there, I will do it. I'm not going to
That's
fucking
not
lie.
me. I mean, I'm either going all the way in or I'm not doing it at all. So I have to
Really?
not do it at all.
I'm a big planner. Like,
Nah,
I'm not saying everything
it
wouldn't
is what
have
it is.
its place. Like, if it was a big bachelorette party or a bachelor party in Vegas and it was like this whole, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be here tomorrow. I don't have anything to do all day. And it would be like, come on, Chaney.
Yeah.
And I'm usually no, don't peer pressure me because it'll be a forever no. But then if I'm like, oh, it's already 3 a.m, like I'll start weighing out pros and cons of it. But I'm a planner of things. It would be like, oh, do you guys want to do Molly? I'd be like, okay, what's the whole plan around this? Wait, I don't want to stay in a campsite for 2 days. That's too dirty. Like, I get like, I'm a
Where are we pooping?
yeah, everything becomes a whole like,
Yeah.
who's coming, who's going. I don't want to hang out with those people. Like, I'm, I want it to be a scene.
Okay, Riggs. Sobriety is the best drug.
I'm mostly sober except
cool.
for pot, which pot is just as big of a drug. I know everybody gets like, its own thing.
But I don't think sobriety is even real. I don't think that's real because everyone's addicted to something. Doesn't have to be like a drug. Something could be a drug to you. So, what is sobriety technically?
Not being chemically induced on something.
How do you even know? Because there's
Yeah,
some people that
have
if they
chemical
eat an
reactions to
apple,
things.
they'll trip out because they've got some weird like folic acid reaction.
Hmm. Or
Being
like
intoxicated.
emotions causes chemical changes in people too. So when you have an emotional reaction to something, it causes like an addiction, like sexual addiction, like nymphomaniacs or whatever, for instance.
I'm
That
like this with sex addicts.
that's a good addiction to have, honestly. I don't see that as a
Doesn't
problem.
like, all right, you got caught cheating on your wife. Now you're a sex addict.
Now you're
right.
the victim.
yeah. Now you're the victim.
You're just dealing with this horrible disease. We're all in this together, bud.
But I think everything's like an age thing. Like when I was younger, I remember one time being like, let's quit smoking cigarettes. And then we just did mushrooms for 3 weeks. Like that couldn't have been good. Like just straight mushrooms for 3 weeks.
I think that's probably better than smoking cigarettes. Even better. And I don't even think smoking cigarettes is that bad.
I feel like with mushrooms, it's one of the drugs that I can feel the poison in me when I'm doing it. I can
Yeah, but
feel my body
it's
expelling
temporary.
it.
It's not like a poison that is actually like hurting you long
Sometimes
term.
my liver hurts.
I mean, it's giving it a workout. You don't want to get a workout. You don't like going to the gym.
I never really feel that part when I take, and my stomach never really hurts.
I know a couple of girls that they can do mushrooms and they have no issue. But
Yeah.
me and all my guy friends, we're like sitting there juicy
My
faced,
brother,
a little noshy.
Yeah.
Like even if it's a good trip for me where I'm like, okay, that was an easy one. I still had mild nausea the whole time.
Really?
Like I still had like a morning sickness
I
amount
think-
of nausea.
And I mean, obviously I don't know, but I really do think, because I used to feel like that, but I think at one point it almost snapped that what I was feeling was some weird body high, like a body trip. And I was just confusing it with nausea because I didn't know what else to call it. And as soon as I was like, wait a minute, this isn't nausea, this is something else, like the nausea went away.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah, I've had different ones though that give
Reprogram.
me a little less nausea, but they give me an entire cold symptoms. where my nose runs and my throat
Really?
hurts.
That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard about that.
I get
Dude,
like a different dependent
I
on.
ate
Go on.
what did I eat? 3.5 grams. My brother ate 3.5 grams. He threw his brains out. I'm just like, I was fine. Totally fine.
I
He's
I
like,
really
how's your
do feel
stomach
that's
not hurting?
probably mental. It was probably mental at that point.
I was excited as fuck.
And
I
you
was
know when
just like,
people
yeah.
say mind over matter to you when you're getting sick, 100% of the time, if you say to me mind over matter, I think my mind always wins. I'm going to throw up. Like it's
Yeah.
just, we're already done for.
Well, I didn't even think that it was one of the symptoms, probably. Like, that was my first like hard trip, and I didn't even think of that being a symptom, is that my stomach would be hurting or I'd throw up. I didn't even take that into consideration, not once. So that could probably be a thing, mind over matter.
You can feel the strychnine and acid.
The
I
what?
don't know if that's true.
You don't feel like you get this like, like
No,
jaw with acid,
no, I feel
like where you're.
like I can't feel my body, so I have to constantly like touch my legs and feel like if I'm still there, in a sense.
Do kids not kids, but do college age people do acid anymore?
I don't think they might think they are, but they're getting some other research chemical probably.
Really?
It's not.
Yeah, 100%. They're probably getting 2C, whatever P Diddy was giving out as pink cocaine. It's 2CB, bro bihymnol or something like that, bibrohomine. But 2CB is basically something that's been given out as LSD for the last like 2 decades, or like a bunch of different variations of it.
Where can you get like decent acid then?
I think the 70s, late 60s, early 70s, they had the drugs. Like they had the best little section of drugs.
No, probably raves. Probably if a good rave with like a good reputation, there's probably a better chance that you might be able to finagle or talk to somebody, or if you go to like a Burning Man. But if it's just some rando stranger, even at those places, you got no idea what the hell you're getting.
What about if I put a scroll on the bottom and like, you want good acid? Call this number.
Dude, back when
like,
Silk
where do I
Road
get
was
good
up,
acid?
you could trust Silk Road based on like the reputations that those guys had.
And this guy from Amsterdam, he would go back and forth and ship all this stuff from Amsterdam to himself, and he was a dealer. Best Molly, best girl.
I knew people that did that trip. Like their
Best
only job
ecstasy.
was to go to Amsterdam and mail back.
Wow, I'm making
DMA.
myself sound so lovely. I don't give a fuck though. I don't give a fuck.
You were in New York. You were in New York during the good times.
Well, no, I bloomed late. I was on super lockdown my entire life, and after I was arranged engaged, I went fucking ape shit. I was like, I'm going here, I'm going here, I'm going here. That's what marriage is like. Fuck that. I'm free, baby. And I went ape shit.
I can pinpoint mine too. I blame Dare in 5th grade because they gave us these little Dare activity books, and I opened the book up, and the first page it had like, here's a normal sober person like having a normal life, and it was a guy walking his dog, and it was like, and here's like a criminal that's on drugs, and it was also a guy walking his dog, but like his eyes were swirly, and the sun was like singing, and like the dog was like all goofy. And I was just like, oh, damn, that's what this is all about. Like, I want to figure out how to get to that one. I want to be in that picture.
Dare was so weird. Like, it was almost like if I were going to say we're all watching a big, huge CIA movie, and we have been for decades, Dare was the part of the movie that they come in and tell all of us. They bring in a wooden box and they show us all the drugs that are going to be important as they play out these traumatic events for us in life. Because even as a kid, I was wondering in my small town, why did they show me PCP? Because they were about to show me Rodney King. I had to have some idea of PCP because that was going to be an important part of the trauma of my movie.
Dude, I was like,
we were all like
7 or 8, and they're like, this is an actual crack pipe, and here's real crack. And it blew my mind that I was in the same room as something that I only had heard about on like America's Most Wanted before.
It was every drug you could
Some of them we didn't even know what it was, and I'm just like, we're all like kids, all googly eyes, like, what is that?
Dude, and even at
What?
that moment, for some reason, like whatever age, 7 or 8-year-old version of me, when they brought that little suitcase out that had all the things in it, like one of every drug, like this thought that was just like, what if I just like took that and ran out of the room? What would happen? Like what's like what would my life be like?
Wasn't their mascot almost like some kind of Tony the Tiger kind of beefy?
Yeah, it was, McGruff,
Yeah, what the
right?
Oh
Or
my
no,
gosh, you
McGruff
guys.
took a bite out of crime. No, it was Daryl. Daryl was a lion.
something.
This is so amazing right now. I'm so glad I even looked because I haven't even, it was that little creepy suitcase. Look at
And everyone, yeah, bro, everyone had one of
Yeah.
these.
Oh my god. There's
like
actual drugs
I
in there,
remember
huh?
thinking if I stole that, I
Yes.
could buy my mom a house.
I just remember if I stole that, like I could change my life right now.
This would be like a really fun week.
Yeah.
Is that adrenochrome up there? In that
Maybe.
vial? What is that?
I'd be surprised if it were.
Mescaline and PCP liquid.
Oh, okay.
Peyote, LSD transfer.
Window pane? What is window pane?
It's just kind of LSD, I believe. I think it's a
PCP
4-up.
powder, morphine, Mexican heroin, black tar heroin, codeine,
Paregoric.
morphine, crack, cocaine.
Cough medicine?
Look at a matchbook and hidden roach right here, just so you know how to identify it at your parents' house
wow.
so you can tell us.
Mm-hmm.
Look how tiny that roach is.
Lookalikes.
Yeah, this blew my mind. I mean, I was literally in elementary school and they're showing us this.
Look at, I didn't even know crystal meth existed yet. Look at Crank and Crystal.
Oh, excuse me.
Whoa.
That was a
Got all
hiccup.
worked up over this.
You got all worked up. You get excited.
No, I had a hiccup. Is that
Look-
glue? Correction fluid.
Amyl nitrate.
Oh, whiteout
Glue.
was a drug?
Yeah.
Wow.
They put that in
I
there.
used
How
to
dare
love
they?
it. Low key.
You know what I don't see in here? Oh, never mind. I was about to see, you know what they dug out of here? The Quaalude. But they got it. Quaaludes.
Bro, if we could find one of these, I think Quaaludes go for like $600 plus a piece now.
I think we should make these for an art something. Like, I think this is part of the Real Housewives. Like, I need one of these kits, even if not everything in it's real.
It would be like the punch out for how many days of Christmas? 20?
Oh yeah, an advent calendar. I was gonna
Yeah,
say too,
advent
like
calendar.
a really
There you go.
awesome Whitman sampler.
Yeah.
That's so crazy that they brought that into like our 4th or 5th grade classroom. And they were like, here is all
Here,
these.
pass it around. Get your hands all over it.
Well, this is the other thing now that I was looking at it thinking they were showing us what all these looked like so we'd all go and be little narcs on our parents.
Mm.
Like showing us in the matchbook. Why? Why did they show us where a good stash place would be like for a joint?
Oh, I know. Like, can I say something? Yeah, my mommy, blah, 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 blah. She used that one. I could only imagine. Oh my God.
It is so crazy. Like, we grew up in a wild time.
We did.
You know what? But some things, we grew up, like our parents, 10 years old, 10 years old, 8 years old, and like a 6-year-old. And your parents would be like, all right, the sun's finally set. You guys can wear costumes and go around to strangers' houses and get candy. And this was just like normal go at it. Like sometimes your parents there might be a driving parent, but usually the driven neighborhoods were like before. When you got back to your own neighborhood, you could go around with your friends.
Yeah.
But there was just so much, there wasn't an age limit on. You were just like 8 years old. Come in when that sun goes down. And in the summertime, that was like 9 p.m.
For us, it was the lights when the street lights came on. As soon as the street lights came on, we knew everybody went inside. Boom. Streets were
Just
empty.
simple. We just had real sugar in our soda.
The toys were amazing back in the day. Our imaginations were everywhere. Girls were girls, boys were boys.
I'm jealous though of some of the toys that kids have now.
Girls have a no. Boys have a penis. Girls have a vagina.
You know what though? Even as cool as toys are now, I don't know if a lot of kids, even if I would have had the attention span to enjoy how cool the toys are.
Yeah. It's just because our attention span is like, I still never got on one of those, like when kids got those segways without the segway, it was just wheels.
Mm.
You know, I was like, holy shit. They called them hoverboards, which I'm like, but they're not, but I'll let you guys have it. I thought that was like a big advancement in kids' toys. That I'm
Yeah.
like, you guys are so fucking lucky. You have no idea.
We had Skip It.
We had a pogo ball. Like all of our stuff required so much calorie burned.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just feel like these kids are never going to be able to sleep because they're not burning
That
any
is
calories.
so true.
They're like, I'm having such sleep problems. Well, of course, you burn 800 calories a day. That's it.
We've come home sweaty as fuck, dirty as fuck from all the running.
Just
We
itching.
smelled like ass.
Just itching.
Uh-huh.
Your parents would tell you stink too. They'd be like, go
Yeah.
get in the shower.
Poof,
You
right away.
stink.
I remember.
Kids smell, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Kids do smell. Kids do smell.
We had so much fun though.
Yeah, I feel like part of the simulation is if we're in a simulation, in this theory, you guys, if we're going to play in a philosophy theory of the simulation for a second, what if the elite, and if I already brought this up here, but it's just been something that I've been kind of thinking about, if the elite have to do a wash of humanity every so often because there's only so much power the simulation can put out. And once there's too many, like it can't give everyone a single experience after there gets to be so many people. It starts to have a bunch of NPCs. And so they need to rinse it back to like a great reset. And so this time, because they didn't get to kill all these people, the simulation's going to revolt regardless and reset itself. And that's going to give us the rapture. So the people that have the least amount of like, they're going to get defragged out of the simulation because they're holding no data. You hopefully are holding data. Like if you're an ordinal, like if you're a piece of the blockchain that's holding data, then you'll just get shoved into a different place closer to other blocks. But if you're holding no data, if you're an NPC, then you just get zapped because they didn't get to kill you in a plague. Could you guys get down with that simulation theory
I
at
could
all?
actually. That's what it is. It's the game.
That's the rapture. The people that all think it's going to be the people that did all these things and all that. Nope, it was just the people that were requiring the least data.
Or I bring up Begonia again. Maybe there's a consciousness field of humanity or like a dome that we're not aware of that like pop with an instant, all of consciousness of humanity just goes away and then a new form of humanity comes along. Doesn't have to be a fucking catastrophe to happen. The catastrophe, it could be all of us just become unconscious. And then all of a sudden we just appear again like, oh, and we have all these memories that came from God knows where. And
I have
some
to tell
Black
you
Mirror
something
shit.
else too. This is what other random thing. When Abbie and I, when we got off last week, and then we were chit-chatting about something and it led to something. I don't even remember at the end of the show what we were talking about, but it was like communion or something. And I was like, I wonder what other gods were eaten as part of their, you know, because people all eat Jesus and that's God in flesh. And they all are like taking part in this communion. And so when we looked it up, there's like a bunch of gods, but the big one that stands out is Dionysus. Dionysus gets fed to the Titans and then destroyed. And the essence of that becomes humanity. And so then when you think of the Last Supper Olympics, Mount Olympus, of the Olympic ceremony where they lay the Dionysus across the Last Supper, they're actually representing Titans when they do that. So now they've turned Jesus and all the people that he's with at the Last Supper into Titans, and they laid Dionysus across that table. And so it was such an inversion and a weird thing of these religions mashed together. But what they did, that symbolism of that has been haunting me since that. Like, what is that? That was more than the drag queens. That was the easy get. That was the easy, like, oh, I'm just all amped up by the drag queens. That was bad too. But there was more to it than that. That was darker than that. And so I just think it's interesting in the lore of the Titans and the lowercase gods. The Titans usually represent the planets. And even in the Last Supper drawing, they're all supposed to be representative of the sun in the center and then planets off to the side. So I just thought it was curious, Dionysus being the planets are representing these titans. So anyway, that was like a crazy dig that maybe had nothing to do with nothing. But it was fun to go on for a little while. And this is the last thing I'll show you that I found out this week that I'm like, oh.
What if they are, though?
Oh, look at Abbie's going to come back on and she's tell you all the things I forgot to tell you. Now our internet works, huh? Look at
Well, you guys
Webster
don't
was
sound
a
like
fucking little
robots all of a
Mason.
sudden.
Look at Webster. He's a tiny little Mason.
Tiny little man.
He's 33 and a half.
So
I
cute.
was like, oh, look at, they don't even height discriminate. They're like, his apron, he was like tripping over it. Did I forget anything in the Dionysus ritual, Abbie?
I mean, I feel like we figured it all out because, like, essentially Dionysus is the equivalent of Jesus if you think about it, because we do the Eucharist or the Holy Communion, and which is like literally consuming the flesh of a god, and then Dionysus was a god who was sacrificed. He was quartered, which Jesus wasn't quartered, but if you think about it, he's put on a cross, which is kind of the same thing. It's like, his limbs are all stretched out. And then
Well, that's what a
yeah,
cross is too. A cross
Yeah,
is
it's
literally
quartering.
it's
Yeah.
quartering. And so then we're literally consuming God flesh and blood. And then Jesus, the water to wine. Okay, so that Dionysus is like the god of wine and all that. Everybody thinks of him as the god of chaos and all these like crazy things. But when you start looking at the parallels, they're almost exactly the same person. So Dionysus is like the god of wine, and Jesus, what is his very first miracle? He changed water to wine at a wedding. His mom's like, "Hey, they ran out of wine." He's like, "Bitch, I got this," and like, turns the water to the best wine. They're like, "Why did you save the best wine for last? That's not normal at a wedding."
Dude.
And so water to wine, and then his wine is the blood at the Last Supper. He's sitting there like, "Drink this. This is the blood of the covenant between me and you, whatever, and do this in remembrance of me." Like, that's literally, you're consuming the wine. He is Dionysus.
Dude, in the movie or show Chaos, when he's like, isn't that him who's being hung by Zeus or something, or punished or something? Is that him?
No, that's Prometheus.
No, yeah.
Oh, that's Prometheus.
He's the
Oh.
one who's wearing like the Hawaiian shirt and like trying to get I think he's kind of Asian looking.
Okay. Yeah,
But don't
yeah,
people
yeah,
a lot of the times say Prometheus is like representative of the devil character because he also brings fire to the humans and he kind of gives them the chaos. Like he's
light
the
bringer.
reason of Zeus wants order. Prometheus wants the humans to really have free will. He wants chaos. And so in a weird way, that story like is almost similar again.
It's also weird.
Like consuming gods. But the other one I thought was crazy. And I was wondering if the elite were doing this, transitioning all their children, is that the elite in like Egyptian bloodlines, they would marry their brothers and sisters, but also they would cut their dicks up. They all did Osiris rituals. They all tried to be Isis and Osiris. So they felt like all the queens and kings were god queens or god kings. So I was wondering if I quote unquote transition in today's world, is it akin to me eunuching my son in an Egyptian time? Like his phallic is gone. I've given it to, like, I've cut it off like Osiris.
Yeah, Yeah, and fertilize the Nile. And the Nile is the only river in the world or the place in the world where I think nay salt is a thing, which is what they use to mummify mummies. I don't know. It's weird.
Thomas, do you have anything to plug this week?
ChaosTwins.com is the big one. That's the big release, the first release we're going to do this year. I didn't do any releases last year. I've been saving them all up. So ChaosTwins.com, we're going to be doing issue 2. I'm hoping that we start the pre-campaign next month, and then maybe we run the actual campaign in March. We'll see. But if you want to get some of the exclusives, we only have like 10 of certain things. If you get like a cool foil cover that Sam signs, so you definitely want to get signed up now at chaostwins.com. So like the day it launches, you can jump in and snatch a copy up.
I like all my Chaos Twins so far. Yeah, and you and me are hanging out with Donut to watch the Grammys or the Oscars.
Something. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm in.
We're hanging out with Donut to watch whatever award show's coming on next, and I feel like it's like February 1st or 2nd. So
It
it'll
might
be
be
before
Super Bowl
next.
halftime show.
Is it?
I don't know.
It could be that too. I'm not sure. It could be that too. But so that's going on this week. Layla, anything?
No, just work and work. Work.
Abbie?
Yeah, I'm going to be on the Perceiver podcast again as long as I get my internet situation squared away on the 4th. But I don't know when it'll air, but it's usually within 1 to 2 days after we record. So, and I think we're going to be talking flat globe and simulation theory, which is totally not what we normally talk about. So it's going to be interesting.
Super interesting. And you guys, we do have the best audience in the whole entire world. So thank you guys for hanging out with us and talking about all the weird stuff we want to talk about. And hopefully you laughed a little tonight during all the serious topics that I know are going on in the world and that you're trying to be loosed with. So do take care of yourselves and each other, and maybe go watch like a Catherine O'Hara movie or something. Okay. XOXO Gossip Girl. Bye-bye.
Can you save us, Britney Spears? Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing who our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunnilinguist good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically good guys. Conspiracy, sex, clones, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking. Good guys, good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing who our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunnilinguist good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically good guys. Conspiracy, sex, clones, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking. Good guys, good guys, good guys, good guys.
You're still here? It's over.